All right. Well, I am back live. Troubles? Apparently, I never have troubles. Hello, Paul. Thank you for it. Very much appreciate it. And now, excuse me for one moment while my nose is itching. Yeah. So I'm glad you came back. While I just got you here for a second, um, we and I are looking for our first RV. Let me say hello. Kaylee, thank you. TGIF, thank you. I do not know what would be causing this. I am at a loss. No, zero. So I was going to ask Paul about tin for an RV. Hi, Catherine. Thank you for coming back. And apparently, I'm still buffering. Something's going on out there because this stream rolls. Yeah, we are trying. So we are, though, unfortunately, have to buy something that's much older than what we would really like to have. And so we're looking. Sorry. Yeah, my son's checking something out here.
You didn't need those, did you?
No, I didn't need him. He's pretty smart and he can figure this stuff out a lot of the times. No, Mike's just, he's off to my right. You're my right, your left, I guess. We're looking at vehicles under $8,000. RV Ashes in April. Hello, thank you for coming in, Margie.
If not, I don't know what to say.
Okay, tell me if it's better. He closed a bunch of stuff. So, very happy you're here just in. Very happy to see you guys. So we're looking at something pretty cheap because we're going to be living in this. And so we're looking at Makey Boy TV USA, Mackie Boy. I don't know. I have welcome. Nice to meet you. I have to write your name down. You want to tell us a little bit about what your channel is about? That would be really nice. Mackie Boy USA, TV USA. Our prep studying with Nana Benda. Thank you for coming in. So we're looking at Class C's and Class A's, older ones. Well, obviously, it's older. Now, I have found, so we've been lied to also. I know that's going to shock everybody. Let me use a better word. We've been misled. We've been misled. We will not use that old ugly word lie. We've been misled. So we were actually 90 minutes into a drive, by the way, through the snow over the Cascade Range to go see. We live in Eugene, Oregon. They were in Bend, Oregon. And we were 90 minutes into that drive when the woman came clean and said there was, in fact, a dry rot. When the first question I asked, is there damage, water damage, or dry rot? Water damage or dry rot? Oh, no. There's no dry rot or water damage. And I've said, I'm disabled and my husband is moderately disabled and he just had back surgery. And no, we cannot remodel a rig right now. And so let's just get that on the table. Anyways, I don't know. I've tried to ask the right questions. We're willing to live with things that are not perfect. But if you have any like knowledge that would help us narrow this down, that would be so appreciative. We'd be so appreciative. All right. Let's see where we're at with people. You never know, Kaylee. Something is messing with it. Kaylee, the ice storms in Oklahoma. Ah, so I didn't realize there was ice storms. See, I tried to watch the news tonight and I just couldn't stomach the news. So I stopped. I do know there was a very bad earthquake in another country. And that's although they rescued a woman and three of her four children alive and she was speaking. So I already said how special Wonelli is to me. Kristen, Justine and Christina and Michael. I hope, is he awake? I remember having a little one. It's been a few years. Scott, still here. Scott, still here. Still freezing up a bit. I wish I understood why, but I don't. And then, let's see. All right, so prep studying with Nana Benda. So what I wanted to do, one of the things I was hoping to do, there we go. I couldn't access the live, so I restarted my phone. That would have been horrid, Patty. All right, so what I'd like to do is, I suspect there may be one or two people who don't really know each other. Could we first figure out who is a content creator here? By saying, if you are a content creator, meaning you do videos or you do videos and lives and you upload and all that good stuff, if you could put a CC in the chat, I'd appreciate it. I'm just watching Brent. He is following on his phone next. He's over here on this side of me. Where are we staying? Where are we staying? Box Fan D, work listening. I totally understand that. It's what I did most of the day. So if you are okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I know D is a content creator. So we've got 6 content creators. That's great. All right. And so I'm assuming rest of you are non-content creators. Could non-content, and we've got Lucy from Wonelli RV Adventures. And, oh, there we go. Also, I know, content creator. Yeah, Patty, eating the Kit Kats kids never showed up for. It's their own fault. They made you do it. All right, so non-content creators, if you could just please let us know who you are by putting an N in. So it sounds like on Brent's phone, I'm lagging behind by about a second or 2 seconds. You know what I wish I had, Patty, is I wish I had a peppermint patty. I love peppermint patties. I never get them. Okay, so non-content creators. We are small enough to be able to say your names. Jim Bertrand, Patty Woods, Catherine Cook, Kaylee, TGIF. That's why you buy peanut butter cracker packages instead of candy. Oh, you are smart. It's getting better, huh? All right, I'm glad to hear. I know. I had for a week hidden in my dresser right next to where I sleep, Almond Joys. I know. I was a setup, is all I can say. All right. Well, you go to bed, Peter, and I'm going to check out your channel. I look forward to it, and thank you for stopping in. Thank you so much for stopping in. I appreciate it very much. It was nice to meet you. So I had more than a couple pieces of Almond Joy. I will be so glad when this holiday is done. It's not even a holiday. It's just a way to make people... Ugh. All right. Well, Nellie, and then prep studying with Nana Benda. I don't have candy, but I ate a piece of chocolate cake. Yeah, I have some brownie mix that I buy that's really good brownie mix, and then I bump it up. So what I learned to do, one of the things I learned to do is you can take cake mixes, brownie mixes, and if you do a couple things to them, you can make them, you can really transform them. One of the things is you add like 3 tablespoons of cake flour to the mix. Add, if you can, a little brown sugar. If it's something you can add brown sugar to, add extra vanilla. Use real butter, which I always do. I haven't used margarine. I don't even have a memory of using margarine any longer. I don't necessarily eat a lot of straight butter because I don't need it, but I will tell you, I personally do not cook with stuff that doesn't melt very well. All right, so oh goodness, that's yeah. So I take that and then I make a homemade peanut butter cream cheese frosting for the double or triple chocolate chip brownies that I make. And it's I could sell them. Actually, I did sell them. My little sister and I had a deli for a while, and we several years ago, and I go like this. I don't know what the hell I'm doing that for. What the heck I'm doing that for? A long time ago, Priscilla and I had a deli. I was the cook, and she was the cashier. And she also dealt with the public because she could just deal with them a little bit better than I could. And but I did make that store smell really, really good. All right, can't do any of that diabetic. Making an exception. Turn the water kettle on. Gonna have hot cocoa set here by Lucretia's fire and converse with good peeps. Yes, this is a nice fire. Yeah, Justin and Chris, just glad Justin and Christina got to come in. I think you're mountain time. All right, so there was a couple things I wanted to do. One of them was, is there anybody who would like to maybe come up and show it? Maybe you've got a great channel as far as your everything goes. No, as far as your layout goes of your page, and you can come up and help those of us who are starting out, or maybe you're not as advanced, and help us see a channel that really works. To give a little bit of incentive to doing things different. Maybe there's something that one of us needs to change, and we'll see it being done on your channel. You're Eastern. Oh, so you're late too. I thought you guys were like mountain time, an hour ahead of me, but you are 3 hours ahead of me until tomorrow. Kaylee, do you want me to tell you the truth? Actually, I do believe we have some natural, my preferred peanut butter is a Jif. I love Jiffy creamy peanut butter. But to cook with, I usually buy Chunky, and I know that Richard grabbed a jar of natural Jiffy peanut butter, which I never knew they had it, that there was a natural Jif. And it's good. It's fine. I don't like it necessarily really horribly sweet anyways. I'm a part-time YouTuber, prep steading. Well, that's perfectly okay. Butter Beanhead, hello to you. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. And Lynn the Okie, I know that it's late where you're at. You're in Oklahoma. Are you getting freezing rain? I heard there was freezing rain, I think, in Oklahoma. You'd like to shout out Happily Ever Hanks? Would you like to come on by any chance, Lucy? And chat for a few minutes? And happy Halloween to everybody. Right now it's 9:42. And in a couple hours, 2 hours and 20 minutes, we're going to be going back 1 hour. I will not be on here still then, but I'm just saying, we're going to go back in time. I guess if I invite people up, I probably want to open my door. You would think I didn't know anything. I may be fairly new, but I do know to copy and paste the link into the chat. So if you'd like to come up, I'd love to have you up. Or anybody else who feels like they would like to have us use your channel as something to look at and say, hey, look at that. Or how could we change this? Maybe people will have ideas about what to change. It's all good. We're 17 friends right here. You don't fall back. Oregon does. I don't know how I'm ready. So my understanding, and I've been wrong at least one other time in my life. I was wrong. Northwoods RV Live. Hello, Corey, Lori, whomever is there. I'm just happy you're here. I'm trying to get somebody to come up and show us what their rockin' channel looks like so that we have something to look towards to build upon. So RV reviews by Air Force Guy. Content creators. For those of you that are content creators, here. If you love what you do, just do it. Quantity over quality. Time will make you better. Quantity over quality. I think, did you mean quality over quantity? Because I think you probably did, but maybe not. Maybe that's exactly what you meant. Patty, would you like to come up and chat with us, Patty? Am I yelling? Does it sound like I'm yelling? I feel like I'm yelling. Patty knows me enough to know that I can get really yelly. Van Life with Gina. Yes, glad you're back. And I really hope that I'm not breaking up too much. I had music I was playing and I thought maybe that was causing it, but I don't know. I don't normally. You're yelling. All right, Pete, thank you very much. I appreciate your honesty because I've got a gigantic mouth. Right, Patty? Yes. You're staying in the basement, girlfriend. All right. When you're ready, wave at me. All right.
You gotta love it. I got my cat ears on. You're like, am I yelling? I feel like we're the old people at the movie theater. How do you put this on? I don't know how to mute the phone. Harry, what am I doing here?
Oh God.
Yeah. Those commercials. You buy a house, you become your parent. Like, oh
yes. There's a commercial.
What is this? I don't know how to do this. I'm waiting for the teenagers to be like, what are they? They're like, God, old people. Oh my God.
I know it.
God. They have a YouTube channel now. What is the world coming to? They're YouTubing. They're taking our stuff. We should prevent them. It's like, okay. That's what it was. It's like everything I've been watching with you guys and all these cool people talking about how they're doing this and find what you love. And I was like, cause I'm one of those people that just, I am literally like the squirrel woman. Like, wow, this is a lot of, what was that? Oh, look over here. Oh, this is fascinating. It's like, oh, you could do geology. And it was like, yeah, but for how long would I do the geology? But they can see me out there in the woods with a shovel. Like, now we're going to try and climb up this hill, call an ambulance. I fell down.
Oh God.
Yeah. This is what it's like when you take an older person who's uncoordinated. Yeah. Let's try doing jewelry. It's like, we're poking holes in our fingers, and this is why you have Band-Aids handy for all the blood on your stuff.
I know.
Yeah. It's like a YouTube channel. I'm like, how do you make money off of this? But it was interesting listening to everybody talking about that stuff. I was like, well, I had no idea you could make a living off of this. I'm like, this is wild, man.
It's crazy.
All you people are freaking awesome. I'm like, wow. Like they grabbed life by the woo-woo and just went for it,
Yeah.
Like, awesome.
There's lots of people. I was just thinking though, I invited another friend, Lisa, my friend Lisa. tonight. And I was just thinking if you and me and Lisa in about another 10 years sitting in a movie theater.
I can't. Al, I can hear Lisa. Al, I can't. Where's the button, Al? I don't know, Al. Where's the? Did you bring the soda? Wait, don't let them know we brought our own snacks, okay? I'm like, you just see the usher like, I'm not going over there.
I know. No.
And one of us is in the corner like, oh, what does an aneurysm feel like? I don't know.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Patty, you nailed it. Boom, boom, boom.
But I've been having so much fun just listening to everybody, typing. Because it was when I came on earlier, and I was like, when you logged out, and then you logged back in, and I came back in, and I'm like, I could hear you. And I even put you on my TV. I'm like, all right, I'll put you on YouTube on the TV, but I couldn't get a live chat on my phone. So I logged out, logged back in, still couldn't do it. So I restarted the phone and then it came back in. I'm like, yes, because I was like, I can't. I'm like, yep, everyone's saying hi. So it's not like she didn't turn it on yet or something. It's me. So I can't get the channel to work.
I know.
Like, oh God, tell her to restart the phone. Just
restart it.
Yeah. So I've been going
Brent in here trying to restart everything for me.
Right. I sent you on Messenger. I sent you a thing. For those of you I'm also in recovery for alcoholism. I sent the thing. It was the slogan slapper, the sloganator, or something like that.
The sloganator.
The sloganator for people who are whining about recovery or like life just sucks, and it's like this and this guy from New York. So you get these guys from New York that are talking about this. It's like the sloganator slap the shit out of you. It's just, and so I'm laughing my butt off because it's like first things first, and so I sent it to a bunch of people in recovery, and you were one of the people I sent it to because I was just like, oh God, this is too hilarious. Especially with his New York Yankee cap on. Live and let live,
Oh,
made by real newcomers.
Real newcomers.
Real newcomers who are whining about having nothing to do.
I know it. I know.
So,
and here, there's something to do all the time.
Yeah.
I was just telling that to somebody tonight too.
Well, it wasn't exciting. There was stuff to do, but it was boring. Okay, you want to go to a meeting? Like I've been to 3 meetings already today. I'm ready to bash my head in. They're like, where's the party at? And it's like, well, we don't do that anymore. And it's like,
what did I get myself?
Those are the days. Thank God Blockbuster came around when I got sober. I don't know what the old timers did. I guess they hung out at home and drank tea and coffee. I'm like,
Larry and Kathy's restaurant. That's what old timers did in my area.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. Us. Well, at least we had. Well, in New York, they had the sober clubs, so we would go dancing on the weekends. So and it was sober clubs. You go there. There's no alcohol. Of course, you can always tell the people that are in recovery and those not in recovery, because the ones not in recovery all go into the group. They go to the bathroom in groups. They all come out. And they're going to order, can I get a couple of Diet Pepsis now? We just need a couple of Diet Pepsis. I'm really good. We should dance. We should definitely dance now. It'd be like, all of us in recovery, like, yeah, glad you're here. Like, yeah, it's hardly noticeable. I'm sure no one even knows that.
No.
It's barely.
You're good.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, that white stuff, you might want to clean that up a little bit. Yeah.
That powdered sugar from that donut, the donuts, Patty.
Yeah, that's it. Were you in the bathroom huffing donuts? I've been there, done that. Keep coming back. So, yeah, but it's just, I love listening to everybody talking and the chatting and stuff. I love this stuff. I'm like, yeah. So.
It's a fun time. I have met so many cool. I would have never thunk it. I did not know. I
didn't. Well, it was only because of you that I came in and was like, all right, finally, after 18 freaking episodes, I'm like, all right, I'll go on your damn show. I'll watch what's going on. And then I was like, oh, wow, that's kind of interesting. Like, oh, wow, that's interesting. Like, what they're living this way? Like, how do you make a living this way? Like, hey, make that volume higher. Like, that was really interesting stuff. Like, and they're just doing this on their own. Like, holy crap. Like, wow. That's like, pretty cool.
That's
So
right.
it's not even millennials. I mean, it's like I would give it to millennials to think this stuff up because, it's the new generation and they come up with the new ideas. But it was like, I'm seeing all these people our age, all these people in their 50s and 60s doing this
Yeah.
and older too. And I'll be like, wow, like they're doing it.
My dear, some of the people that I know that are doing the very best, that really have the most, let me rephrase this. Okay, so you can have a great channel. It doesn't necessarily have to be big by any stretch of anybody. It's just what you're comfortable with, what you like to do. And if it happens to grow and get bigger, that's great. Some people never even want to get a large channel because for a couple different reasons. But I think one of those is that if your channel gets monetized, then which requires the 4,000 watch hours, and we are now at 2,100, so we are over halfway there, and 1,000 friends. And I've got the 1,000 friends since I pushed hard for that. I got that done, and now we're over 2,100 towards the 4,000, which I believe I'll have by Christmas. That's my goal. That's the only Christmas present I want, because when we hit the road at the end of December or the beginning of January, I want to have that check mark done so that I can.
So you're out that soon. You really are going to be gone by January.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We so I think that what I've understand is that there's rules on YouTube, and if you don't want to, like, if you play music, for instance, I'll just give you one for instance. If you play music that is owned by a creator, like let's say Bon Jovi, and you play some of Bon Jovi's music, you're gonna get your channel you're gonna have to come back, and you're either not gonna get to use that, or you're gonna have to go over that music with other music or something. There's whichever way to do that.
I have a couple of people I subscribe to that do reactions that play, and sometimes he'll be like, if you don't hear anything, it's because they shut us down from the music, and you can go on our private page or whatever and watch it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So that's one of the things. There's people who don't want to they don't want to deal with the crap. It's like with anything, Patty. There's going to be a layer of crap that everybody has to kind of deal with. And I'm just using that word. It's called rules in real adult life. For me, it's crap. I mean, seriously, I think some of it's really like just hand holding, but it's the rules of the game. And I have learned how to play by game rules.
Well, yeah, what if I was doing a channel and I was talking about really inappropriate stuff and playing someone's music in the background, and who's like finds out about it? I was like, you're playing my songs and you're talking about stuff that I'm vehemently opposed to. Please don't play my music. I can respect that, It's like now with the politics in the last couple of elections, it's like, stop playing our songs, and everybody's getting their panties in a twist. And it's like, good God, it was... Yeah. We play it at baseball games, and that's okay. But now it's like, whatever.
Yeah, no, it's just it really. So what they will do is they will simply I have a music thing against me, but mine is odd because I got it from a free site, so I'm not sure why I have oh boy, that was like, were you on whenever Brent kept switching out my wigs?
I know. I came in, you were on the last wig, because I spaced it, and all of a sudden it was like, oh my God, what time is it? So I came in late. Yeah.
Yeah. So, he had me in 4 different wigs that belonged to him.
Yeah. These are my only 2 headbands. Is I've got the little kitty cat ears, and then I've got this oldie but goodie that I've had.
I know. I like that one.
I love this one.
You dressed up like a pumpkin last year.
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago that I had done my face as a pumpkin. And I was like, I shared the memory, and people were like, what are you dressing up as this year? And I was like, an older woman dealing with loneliness and bitterness and depression during a pandemic. What are you dressing up as?
How do you put that in a costume? Does that come in a 3X?
Yeah, I'm gonna hold a window up in front of me with me doing this.
Oh God.
Hello, like the cat and the wind. Come back. That's why I was like, okay, maybe a kid will show up. Like I had I had the pumpkin lit up in the window, and I've got the candy right next to the pumpkin. And I'm like, they didn't come. And it was like, well, guess the Kit Kats are mine now. It's like,
Dang
it's
it.
9. It was like it hit 9:30, and I'm like, all right, snooze you lose, kids. That's it. Now it's
That's
mine.
right.
So yeah.
Richard went into the store by himself recently, and he came out with 2 bags. I wish I had one of them here. It's a massive bag, this big.
Yeah, I just got. Wait, I can't try to get the camera. I just got a little one. Yeah, just a little one. I'm like, all right, because there's not a lot of kids here. I'm not in a neighborhood. I'm in a little apartment complex, and so it was like, but even so, yeah.
Richard got about 300 pounds of not chocolate. It's the smaller like gumball things, and these little things. There's like 300 pounds of them, and now I'm gonna have to eat the sour ones.
It's the law. It's the law.
There's
Well,
a law
what you could do, you could also get those little wax bags, put a bunch of candy in each of them, tie them, and give them out for Christmas.
That's an idea.
That way, it might stop. Put some aside for yourself. Like first things first. Say this stuff is mine, and then get rid of the rest. Because like the almond joys on the nightstand, it wouldn't even last one night. Because I'd be like, sometimes you feel like you're not. Like, damn straight I do.
That's right. They were speaking out loud.
Okay.
So I gotta say goodbye to Van Life with Gina Payne, with Gina. Gonna hit the hay. A great night. Much love to all. Much love to you too, sweetheart. Thank you so much for coming by. It's official. You can eat candy now. You can eat the candy now. Thank you, Butterbean Head.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, Butterbean Head. I thought that was hilarious. I love
that name. Yep. Kaylee's gonna be back. Pete Rossi. Good night, Gina. And we've got Justin and Christina's RV Van Life. Another music service is called Sound Stripe. Okay. Because also I have an online bank, and Sound, whatever it's called, will not take my debit card for them. They will not take it. And I've tried mine. I've tried Richard's. It just will not.
Who won't take it? Sound?
No, it's called Epidemic Sound. And it is you subscribe for like $15
you guys were talking about it the other day. Yes, you were talking about that the other day. Yeah,
and they have great music. Let's see.
Well, so
Richard, is it free? Like it's called. Just a second. I'm helping Richard out here.
Yeah, I play music on YouTube all the time.
Yeah. Yes, you were on the wrong one. I'm sorry. Pay closer attention, sir. I had to scratch that one long ago because it was messing up. Okay. Prep staying with Nana Benda. You ladies are hilarious. I got to go to bed. Got to work tomorrow night. All. Good night. I am so I'm so happy that you came. I'm very happy. Thank you very much for coming by.
Yeah, it was great. I forgot about it again. It was 9:09. I was like, wait, don't be late again. Like, oh, you're already late. Yeah. So yeah.
Hey.
Oh, it's November 1st. Happy 75% off Candy Day.
The newest holiday of the year.
You hear Richard grabbing the keys. Like, Richard, stop.
I know. We're
75% off.
Yeah, I was telling them about the big bags of candy you bought. Yes, 2 of them. After he didn't realize I had real candy, candy bars in my basket. See, he went one direction, I went another, and then we come to the check stand. It's the same way we ended up with about 300 rolls of paper towels 2 days yesterday. About 300 rolls of paper towels.
Are you serious?
I'm exaggerating, but we're probably, let's see.
We went to Costco.
About 20.
I'll take a semi truck of paper towels, please. Thank you. Yeah.
That's it.
Remember that guy in Canada when this first started? He went to the store thinking he was such a smarty smart, and he went and he bought like all of the hand sanitizer in the entire town, thinking I'm going to make money. And then the president of Canada or whatever said,
Prime Minister,
you can't sell it. Sorry.
Yep.
And he went,
That's right.
but, and it was like, oh my God, that is too funny. So.
I know it. I'll tell you what. That was one of the. I hope he ate it all.
I
Because
know, I do too.
I'm very much an open marketer, as you probably know,
Right.
but I tell you, selfish self-centeredness. I've
Right.
learned a few things about that too. And
There's
being selfish, no.
They already made a new movie coming out. I saw it was the new movie trailers earlier today or yesterday I saw, and there's a new movie and it's like they're in like 287th week of lockdown, like the world.
Who is?
In a movie, this
Oh.
like the whole world is locked down from this new, it's like coronavirus 25 or something. And I was like, wow, how the hell did they do? They've not only made the movie, they produced it, they've already got trailers for it. I'm like they really they went for it on this. Like, holy smokes.
So someone told them how it is?
I mean, I don't. But yeah, so it's, you can't leave your apartment. You're like literally trapped, and anybody who tests positive, they ship them off to some island out in the middle of nowhere. They're leaving everybody to die. I mean, it was like the whole world is on like a martial law, like the entire world. And I was like, oh, this is scary. I'm like, well, talk about a horror movie. I'm like, we're already in a pandemic and you made a movie about a pandemic getting worse. Like, I don't want to go to the movie to see that.
I know, and that's surprising. But
I know the movies. Oh God, the movie today, Lost Boys. You showed the thing and the Chinese food, and I'm like, teenage vampires. I'm like, Kiefer Sutherland. I couldn't remember the name of the movie, and they're like, is it Carrie? Lost Boys. I'm like, Lost Boys. But it was the Chinese food. It was like at one point they give him, they're just nasty. And they give him like, he's eating like fried rice or something. And they go, so how are your maggots? And he's like, yeah. Like funny. He looks down and it was just, and so as that is part of the clue, as soon as I saw the Chinese, because I saw Ferris Bueller Chinese food and went, oh my God, the only thing I can think of is that. And I was like, I couldn't remember the name of it, but it was like, oh my God, that was so bad.
I know. I tell you, I can take many things. Grossness is not one of them.
Yeah, I'm not a slasher movie person. Yeah.
I don't like slasher movies. I like scary movies, but I don't watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Nothing like that. No. I don't like anything about loss of control. That is not, my whole being fights against that sensation. And so I just don't do certain types of these movies. And I have a recurring dream, and I shared this recently, where I am running and I barely get away. I always have it. It's regular. It's really weird. Prime Minister. Well, we were talking a little minute ago about, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
Right. That's it. Yeah.
That's right. Just Prime Minister.
He's a cutie. He is.
He's cute. He's cute. Yeah. 17,000 bottles. I believe she's somewhere right. Kaylee said that guy had like 17,000 bottles.
Yeah, I guess you know what his family.
You know what his family's getting for Christmas?
For the next 30 years.
That's right.
Oh, look, another box of hand sanitizer. Thanks, Jeff.
I'm so surprised. Hocus Pocus is a Gracie Seeking Adventures.
Aww.
Yeah, it is a funny one. Yes, I watched
Paranorman the other day. Until tonight. I watched Vampires, the one with James Wood, John Carpenter's Vampires. That's a fun movie. But I've been watching Property Brothers. It was happy endings. Couldn't deal with anything. It's too much going on. But I did watch Paranorman because that was the one little. I forget. I don't remember if it was on Hulu or Netflix, but yeah, because it's a kid movie and it's animated and it's very cute. So I was like, all right, I can watch. This was my first Halloween movie this year, and as you can tell, most of my movies are horror movies. So
yes, you are a horror movie queen. So right here, Pete Rossi says you can't hoard living in an RV.
Right.
No hoarding in an RV. I do understand that. But see, it's like I'd like a 40-footer, but I'm just kidding. No, I only want 30 feet
37.
because
She got her feet.
he's talking about our dog.
I
Although-
figured that. Yeah. I figured that. She's got to pee. Here comes Grandma. We're gonna let her out the back door. She's got to pee.
Come on.
Oh my God!
I kind of figured
My
you were
bad.
talking about an animal. Like,
I about choked on that one, Patty. Pete Rossi, he watched The Exorcist for the first time the other day. So what did you think of it as an adult? As a child, I thought I was going to die. I
oh my
was
God,
terrified.
I was absolutely terrified. I couldn't sleep. I was like, Satan is going to grab my soul as soon as I go to sleep, and my mom's going to wake up, and I'll be dead, and I'll be in hell, and I was like 12, like, oh my God. So yeah,
Yeah. I saw The Changeling, Jim, several years ago.
I saw that in the movie theater. That movie scared the crap out of me. George C. Scott. Oh my God, that's a
I
great
love that
movie.
man. Could you believe that 007 died today?
I know, Sean Connery. I love him.
At 85, still a sexy guy. An
Yeah.
old man, Sean Connery, always sexy. Did not have to do anything. It was just his persona. He was just a really, I don't even know the right word for it. Richard understands. It's my
Yeah.
old man crush.
It sounds like that. He just has such a presence.
Yes.
There's some
yes.
people, there's certain men and women that just have like they walk in and it's like the weight of them. Like Helen Mirren. Helen Mirren walks in and everything stopped. Patty,
Yes.
Grace. Is that
Patty.
Is that her cat's name? Patty Cake?
That's my beagle.
Oh, okay.
Let me show you.
Oh, hi, honey. Oh, she's so cute.
Richard's cleaning her backside. I don't know why, but he just does it. He just wants to make sure she's clean.
Right. She's an older dog. Yeah.
She's an older dog. Yes. Yeah. He's an older dog, but it's no good. Yeah. She's an old girl. She's 20. And so she definitely needs a little bit of assist.
Wow, 2 years ago. Yeah.
So we've got another newbie in the house. Bamarush, how you doing? Hope you're had a good Halloween. Avenger RV Adventure, Steve, how are you tonight? Let's see. Is there anybody who'd like to come up with us and chat? Is there any brave men? I don't know. Sean Connery died. Is there any brave men left in the world?
God, I hope so.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Did you see that picture I posted of my brother? Him and the other men from the Long Island Railroad saving that guy's life?
Do you want to tell that story, Patty? This is well worth listening to, folks.
I have 5 older brothers. I'm originally from New York, Long Island, and one of them works for the Long Island Railroad. And the trains in New York, we have a third rail. So, when my brother talked to the news people when they were on the camera and on the news and stuff, he had said that the man seemed to be, I don't think the word he used was disoriented. And so when he called me today, we were talking, he's like, yeah, I called him disoriented. I go, he was drunk? He goes, yeah, he was wasted. Okay.
Her brother saved a man's life.
This guy went between the tracks and he just went down and his foot got caught between the regular rail and the third rail. And there's a picture, and there's one, the MTA, one of the train guys is holding this man like to try and keep him from moving. And there's a guy who's bent over the third rail trying to get this guy's foot out of his shoe so they can get him out of there. And the guy bent over the third rail was my brother. And one of my other brothers posted the picture because it was from the newspaper on Long Island, and I was just like, every time I see the picture, my heart would be like, oh my God. So when he called me today and I was like, I love you, bro. Don't ever do that again. Get somebody else to bend over. I'm like, he has a heart. He has a pacemaker since he was like 35. I'm like, of all the people not to be with their hands around a third rail. And it was just, I'm like, but he did. Yeah. Farmingdale. That's why I've got family in Farmingdale. I've got Massapequa Park, Levittown. I grew up in Syosset. I saw that you had put Farmingdale. Yeah, I was born at Mid Island Hospital out I used to think that was Farmingdale, but because I lived in Farmingdale right before I left New York in '92, and I haven't. But it's now it's a nursing home. The hospital we grew up in, it's a nursing home. So it was
Oh.
it was a little hospital,
Mhm.
but it was to be in Long Island back then,
Right.
that was big. So,
Well, and Kaylee says,
oh my
one
God,
of-
an army foot blown off by
Yeah.
a third one. Oh my God. Oh, that's awful. I'm so sorry. Yeah,
Yep.
that's scary stuff.
That
Yeah,
would
he
be
is a hero.
terrifying.
Yeah, a lot of people were just like, holy smoke. Beth Page, yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's what, some people, it's like him. My father was the kind of person who, as a fireman, ran into the fire. He was the
Right.
guy who, in Oregon, probably all over the country, they used to have these things called bag houses, where at lumber mills, where I'm not sure what would burn in them, but they literally,
Right.
and Patty, they're still here. You've probably seen them.
Right, I've seen them here.
Okay.
Yeah, they practice. Yeah.
But no, bag house was literally at the at mills, and they would burn something. They would maybe take the leftover stuff and burn it, and they don't do that anymore. But they're like big red metal looking. Oh God, like they're shaped like
a
this,
silo kind of a thing. Yeah.
kind of. We'll just say similar to that. And
Right.
they would burn in there. Well, every so often there would get to be an out of control fire in a bag house. I guess I don't know how that happens, because I thought the point was to burn this stuff up. But and we lived right down the street from a mill, and there was always fires in it, in the bag house, and my dad was always the guy who ran into that, and he'd have to go into a very dangerous spot in it in order to deal with this. And that's how he trained the guys. You can't have a fire department if you don't have people who can and are willing to go into those scary situations. And like your brother, someone who is willing to bend over the third rail with a pacemaker and save a guy's life.
Yeah. And he did in the interview, when he talked and he was in the camera, and he said, he was like, this couldn't have gone smoother if we had practiced it.
Well, wow.
Because it was in the middle of rush hour, and there were 5 of them, and Larry was like, you go, sent 2 of the guys, one to east and one to west, to stop trains from coming through, because they're like, the guy's on the track, and he, we're going to be on the track now with him. So they went that way. Another one ran to go like contact whatever, and the other 2, the one guy was already down, and then Larry jumped down. And God, I'm 57. This guy, he's 62. He's not a spring chicken, and he's down there bent over. He's, getting this. But like, what he told me today was, this guy, the only thing he cared about, he had a beer inside a plastic bag, and the only thing he cared about was this beer. And I was like, oh, he goes, and he kept saying it was for a friend. And I said, of course it was.
You're dying. You're about ready to be killed, and the beer is still for a friend.
Don't lose the bud. I'm like, I may electrocute you, me, and everybody around, but I can't lose the Coors Light. It was just, I was like, you're a good friend, saving your friend's beer. Like,
I know it. Just so kind of you.
Just you're a good man. I hope your friend appreciates that.
Oh, yes. That sounds like a Bruce Willis moment, Steve.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely. He's going to play your brother.
Right. That's it. Yeah. Well, nowadays, Bruce, I think, is older than my brother, but yeah. He just had both of his hips replaced last year, so he probably, the way Bruce is, the age now, it probably is appropriate, get Bruce Willis to kind of roll off of the ledge onto the tracks and grab a cane or something and hobble down to the dude and like prevent himself from hitting the third rail. And he was
behaving on Bruce Willis now, Missy.
Yeah, but it was just. He said, he was disoriented. My brother's like, yes, I used the term disoriented. I go, he was drunk? He goes, yeah, he was wasted.
Oh, that's too funny.
I was like, oh my God. I'm like, so he goes, how do you think I go, I just thought maybe, he's like, I think he jumped down on purpose, that he wanted to try across the tracks so that he didn't have to go up the stairs to go to the other side to come back down again. You have to go up the big flight of stairs into the main and then go down to the other track. And he didn't feel like doing it. He just thought he'd jump down to the tracks and walk over. I'm like, yeah, that's drunk thinking. Yes, I can do
Yes.
this. Yeah.
There was a couple times I thought like that. Luckily, my foot never got caught anywhere, but I did have to hide underneath of a camper one time when I was about 14 years old because my friend and we were out having fun, and she and I ended up there was a carload of people chasing us, and we had to hide because they were not happy with the two young ladies who were letting air out of tires in the neighborhood. Now, I was 14. It was a long time ago. I can't make amends for that other than I no longer let air out of people's tires.
Right.
So,
I know, that's why when I see stuff and they'd be like, these kids these days, and I'm like, these days? I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, come on. And nothing's changed. They're kids. They're going to do stupid stuff because they're bored.
That's right. So we got someone else who's going to join us. I'm going to paste the link.
Cool.
Bamarush is going to come up here. He's got the cutest little guy.
I see.
Who likes to sing. So we'll have someone else up here in just a minute.
Cool.
I'll tell you. There are some things we did on Halloween as a kid. Not Priscilla. You would never catch Priscilla doing. Now, she came with us, but she never did any of the bad things. TPing, all that kind of stuff. And who didn't,
I think we threw eggs. I think we did eggs once, but I remember a girl in the neighborhood, somebody sprayed Nair on her head. And she thought it was because they used to throw shaving cream, shoot shaving cream. And she didn't know until she went home and tried to get it out. And then hair started coming off her head. And this was a kid like, 10 or 11 years old. And it was teenagers that did it. And it was like, trying to track down the kids that did it, because they thought they were being funny. And it's like, not thinking, you're not firing on all cylinders. That you're not really considering the consequences of what this did to this little girl to lose her hair,
Right. We never did stuff like that. We one time put I think it was shaving cream on the side of a house, and by the way, that takes paint off, and we didn't know that. And we also made it so that the people couldn't. They had on a sprinkler for some odd reason, and we turned it on and pointed it towards our door so they wouldn't just want to run right out. All right. Are you ready to come up? All righty. Here we go. Very
Hello,
good.
ladies.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Patty, how are you doing, Missy?
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Now, what is your first name? I'm trying to remember.
Anthony.
What was that, hun?
Anthony.
Anthony.
All right.
Okay. So what have you been up to?
We just kind of been hanging out all night tonight. We don't do Halloween. So so we just kind of been just chilling out and just kind of hanging out with the family tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife had to work tonight and she got home and we just kind of been chilling, and she's actually in a new bed with him.
Oh, that's always a nice thing.
Yeah, teaching the toddler how to sleep in his own little new toddler bed. So she's in the bed with him right now.
I remember that when we got one for Brent. It was, man, I was so glad to finally, but then we'd have to go, the first couple weeks, about every 15 minutes, he'd be standing there with his little blankie, and we'd have to go tuck him back into bed and tell him, it'll be fine, Brent. It's your own big boy bed.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to transition him into that bed. We've been thinking about it. We've had it for about a year, and he's been able, but I think he's just so used to that crib.
No, I don't have a YouTube channel. Sorry, I just saw Kaylee now.
Yeah, she is a supporter. She's a supporter of content creators. But I think Patty would make a great content creator. She is very funny person. Very funny person. And so how is your channel coming along, Bama?
Well, I think I'm at 111, 111 people now.
Okay.
Cool.
I saw you guys. I popped on real quick, and because we've been playing in Spartan's room, getting him used to that bed, and and so I popped on real quick. But I saw that you guys were talking about Sean Connery, my favorite actor of all time, my favorite actor.
Yeah,
and
it was really sad.
I did a tribute to him. I didn't see it. I didn't see the news. It was actually yesterday that he had passed.
Oh, I didn't know.
He was 90 years old. He was born in 1930. And wife sent it to me today. She's like, do you think you could do a video doing Sean Connery's voice and to a dedication and not get dinged for it? I was like, yeah, I could not get dinged for it. Why? She didn't answer me for a while. I was like, what is a dedication? What do you mean dedication? He passed yesterday. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. I didn't know it was yesterday. I thought it was today.
I didn't know. My cousin posted it this morning from New York, so I figured he died sometime early this morning. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, probably it's when the news came out was this morning.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually yesterday. Such a shame. Great talent. He made a lot of B movies, which I loved.
Yeah.
Gracie Seeking Adventure says Artemis Fowl is an awesome movie.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of things about The Hill. I've never seen that, and I'm a big fan, and I've never seen The Hill.
The Hill? I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those backroom movies that everybody knows about, but nobody knows about.
Huh. I have not heard of it personally. I mean, I haven't. Yeah, I just don't know.
Yeah, it's a Hill. It's I think it's a World War II epic.
The Hills, Hills. Yep, I think that's true. It's kind of like there's a visual I'm getting of it, and I think it is a World War II movie.
Yeah, black and white.
Okay. Right.
Well, yeah, I've never seen it. And I've seen a lot of his movies. I even saw that campy movie where he's dressed in the banana hammock.
Zardoz?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh my God, that was so bad. Oh my God, I love that movie.
No.
Oh my God, that was such a classically bad movie. I love it.
Yes. And I saw the Two Kings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that was great. But I mean, he's my favorite. But then he picked back up in the 90s, and that's where, I mean, of course he's 007. He's James Bond.
Yeah.
He's always a James Bond to me. The original.
Yeah.
Well, he's actually probably James Bond to everybody.
You're right.
There's never been another one like
Roger Moore, and I was like, Roger Moore couldn't touch Sean Connery. And I know Roger Moore did so many movies. I thought Pierce Brosnan did a really good job. I thought Pierce Brosnan held it better than Roger Moore did, but I was like, but even Pierce can't touch Sean Connery.
I mean, it's the originality.
Kaylee says it. No, I'm sorry. It was
1965.
A 1965 British American war drama.
Okay.
I did not know we were in a war with them in 1965, Kaylee. Maybe it's where we were working together.
1965. A British American. Lucretia, you're hilarious. It was they made the movie in 1965.
I was worried. I missed a war.
That's it. I don't have a mute button. Were we in 65? Were we in a war? I don't remember being in a war. Like, oh my God, they're still talking. Yes.
You do that New York voice so well. You do.
Yeah, it's a war.
It's some kind of war. It's just 65. It was a war, and it was a British American hill, and it was Bernie. I think it was Bernie Hill that they had to climb him, and he told jokes while he climbed him, something like that. Yeah. Yeah. I love history. It's my passion. Yeah.
Yeah, that Bernie Hill, you gotta love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, my dad did. God, my father. I'd be like, he'd make fun of us, like being, this is the guy listening to opera 1 minute, and then I'd walk through the room and he's watching Bernie Hill, and I'd be like, Dad, you're an enigma.
Complicated.
You're an enigma.
Yeah. Oh, there. That's
Must
it.
be somewhere in Texas.
It's just like it just
Hey.
doesn't make sense.
Kaylee looked it up and said it was a British American collaboration.
That's what I figured it was. Yeah. It wasn't a British American war in 1960.
Well,
I was born in 61. I would not have
I'd have
known there was a
to
war.
do my history. Were the Brits in Vietnam?
Yeah, we were in Vietnam at the time. It was kind of hard to be,
Also at war with the Brits. I mean, heck, I would love to see where at one of the. Okay, if I could ever just Richard, I won't go on a plane, and Richard won't go on a boat. So one of us is going to miss a trip.
So you won't go on a boat.
I'll go on a boat, but he will not go on a boat. But I won't go on a plane. I hate. Oh no planes for this girl. And I would like. The point was that I would love to go to Europe. I would love to go to England. I'd love to go to Germany. I would love to go to France, Scotland, and Ireland. I'm Scottish, Irish, as Miss Patty Woods over there is. And so it's just two of the places. A friend got to go to Scotland a year ago, and had a bunch of stuff on Facebook. I've got to follow him along, but I would love to go to Europe. I'm just going to have to knock Richard out, drag him onto a ship, and stick him in the bedroom for a while, and hope the ship sails fast.
I was thinking that they should knock you out and put you on a plane because you'll get there faster.
It's called Dramamine.
Dramamine. That's it. Dramamine. Well, you'd have to really knock me out because.
Or turkey.
Yeah. Although that could cause a whole lot of unintended consequences.
Yeah, that would be bad.
That would be bad.
Staterooms.
I have seen on some of the Asian airlines, they have got some beautiful accommodations.
Oh yes.
Oh, yes. Yes, if I could probably get on a plane, go to sleep before they ever took off, I could probably do it, because if we crashed, I would be out anyways. And so I would never know.
Doesn't matter after that.
That's right. After that, it doesn't matter. I would not know we crashed. And
Justin and Christina's RV, they went to Ireland for 3 weeks.
Sweet.
That would be nice.
The Emerald Isle. I was watching Darian's live chat the other day, and they're all telling everybody to take that loop that goes around it, some type of highway that goes all the way around it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, a nephew spent a college semester in Ireland. I was so jealous.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, there's just so many things. But before I ever do that, the reason that I want to go full time is there's so much of this country I want to see, but I'm afraid I'm going to get down to Quartzsite, Arizona, and move in. The cool kids are in Quartzsite, Arizona. That's where everybody's going to be who's fun in January.
Yeah, but they leave.
I know that they go down to Puerto Vallarta every winter. That they talk about. I mean, she shows Alice. They show this huge amount of food and stuff for $3. And they spend 9 months of the year in Puerto Vallarta, and they come up for a few months in summer, and then they go back down. But if you already have your own money, or if you're creating it, but for somebody like me who's on disability, if I leave the country, there goes my disability money.
Yes.
Yeah. And you can't cross over by land right now. You
No.
can
Right.
by plane,
I know.
but not by land.
Yeah, so talking about sneaking into Mexico. Like, there's a,
Perfect.
No.
there's a turn of events. Yeah.
Patty, I'm going to have had a whole lot of tequila to sneak into Mexico. Even I know that's a really foolish thing to do.
No, it's like, no, I don't want to do this. Yeah.
Well, they got plenty of tunnels.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the problem going across it. What is the name of it? I've watched. No, well, you do have to cross the Rio Grande, Brent, but no, it is a particular town down in Arizona. Darn it! Come on, somebody who actually has been there. I know.
Segundo?
What was that?
El Segundo?
No, it'll come to my mind. And they go a lot to get medical stuff, prescriptions, glasses,
Right.
dental work.
Is it a popular port town?
It is right on the border, and people walk across, and they say you can walk across, no problem. There is nobody stopping you. It is coming back into the country, and apparently you can do it with a birth certificate, but you get into trouble. They'll really bitch you out for not having your passport. I wouldn't try it, and I'm not. You're close. Darn it.
Darn it.
Darn it.
Sounds reasonable.
El Walco. Like, nope.
I can't believe I'm not remembering it.
It's like we're passing over. Is it El Paso? Sorry.
No, it's.
I'm sorry. That was a really, really bad joke.
Oh, funny. Oh, I see, Patty. I'm going to just type on my computer for a second. Keep speaking. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay. Oh, man. Border town. Mexican border town.
Well, is it? It's Texas.
No,
so you might want to put
no.
Oh, Arizona. So you might want to put Arizona. Otherwise, there's
Yes.
a lot of border towns.
Oh, there's a lot of ports in Arizona.
Right.
Town. It's near Yuma. I know that much. South of Yuma. Mexican border town. Near.
It's in Arizona?
Yeah.
Because I'm looking up and I'm not seeing anything that starts with L in Arizona.
No, I was wrong. It's called Los Algodones.
Los.
LOS, not L.
It was some kind of word.
It's the
It had
female
a
side.
little word. Untois. I don't know. It's some kind of word.
A short word.
But it starts with L. It starts with L. She found out.
Oh, God.
It's a foreign word. It's very small. It's very small.
Just not that small.
Patty. It's Los Algodones. And that's it. Not Algodones. Good Lord. I'll have all these towns all straightened out someday.
We'll have to do a live stream from the movie theater with you, Lisa, and I.
Yes. Yes.
Are they going to have closed captioning in here? The people are like, are they going to lower the lights? How will we know when the exits are? Because if I have to pee, can we pause the movie?
That's it. And she's paying for now not coming tonight because I sent her a gold invitation. It's her own fault.
Darn tootin'. Lisa's a trip, man.
Yes, we would have fun. Yep. Yep, she is fun.
I know. Last year for her birthday, we went to the coast. We drove there, and she got a crab from the shack there. There was a line out the door. There was like, well, the hundreds, but yeah, there were hundreds. There was dozens of people there, and it was a really popular place. And so she got a live crab, and all this fixins to go with it for her birthday and stuff. So
was that in Newport?
Yeah,
the Crab Shack.
No, not Newport. This was we went to
Florence?
North
of Newport?
Yeah. Whatever's up there. What's the next? Yachts.
Yachts is south of Newport. It's between Florence and Newport.
What's the next big one up after Newport?
Newport is then you're probably talking Lincoln City?
Astoria?
Astoria? Because if you go any further, you're in Washington.
No. No. Maybe it was Newport then. So.
Because the Crab Shack is a very popular. Richard and I went there.
That's a good one. Oh God, good stuff. The shrimp cocktail.
They have a Crab Shack in Florence.
Oh, they also have a Crab Shack in Florence, but I think Patty would know.
That's the one I know.
I think Richard would know.
I want to say hello to U.S. Backroads Nomad. Thank you for coming in tonight. We're just having a little fun. Me and Patty have lost our minds. We're longtime friends.
How do you guys know each other?
You can tell.
We're both recovering alcoholics.
Oh, so that's how you know each other.
No, we don't know each other from our drinking days. We're both recovering, and so that's how we know each other.
This is what happens when you have 30 years of sobriety. You go crazy.
You go crazy and you go on YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't know,
So you guys know each other through YouTube.
No,
we know each other from AA meetings we've known each other for years in the program.
In recovery program. And so we've just been friends, in our everyday sticks and bricks life for about 10 years. Would you say, Patty?
I'd say so. Yeah.
Patty, you're in the same area?
Yeah, I'm in Springfield, Oregon.
Oh, okay.
And I'm in Eugene, and she's just across the bridge from me. She's on the other side of the tracks. I couldn't help it.
She's on the side of the river.
Other side of the river.
Side of the tracks.
She's on the other side of the river.
And to the woods, because my last name is Woods.
Yeah. We've had a lot of fun, though. I'll tell you what, her and I.
Yeah.
It was hard. We had some fun recovery times together.
Oh, you guys don't mind if I drink alcohol?
No, I don't care at all.
Okay.
Nope.
How about it, baby?
I can't grab it and run with it. You're safe. You're safe. No, you know what? It's not. So just so anybody in here knows, that's not an indictment on all drinking. Just for me, I lose my mind when I drink. Okay,
yeah,
and
I'm also type 2 diabetic, but I'm not going to tell you can't eat any cookies.
Good. Don't even try.
Yeah.
No, it's just part of, chemically I was born in a way that I don't metabolize alcohol correctly, like you apparently do. And anybody else sitting in here probably metabolizes their alcohol normally. I, on the other hand, do not.
Yep.
Okay.
And apparently neither does Patricia Woods.
Right.
Okay. I just didn't want to offend you guys.
No, not at all. Nope.
Yeah, I mean, I started drinking at 12, and at 12, people were telling me I was alcoholic.
At 12,
when you're a 12-year-old and your friends are like, you're messed up, man.
Listerine is awesome.
Yeah. I have much more fun for myself because it's just fun. I remember what happens nowadays. Yeah. So Kaylee says you cross it Yuma to go to Los Algodones. And then let's see, we've got our RV Adventure saying hello to Backroads Nomad. Scott saying hello. Kaylee is in the, yep, I know. I saw him. Now, if only we got Camper Van Kevin and David, all three of them. But one is plenty, by the way.
Oh, and what about Bob? That'd be funny.
Um,
Bob from Bob, you know.
oh yeah.
Ooh,
Kaylee,
snow crab legs? Ooh, I want king crab legs, but snow crab legs, I'll take them. Yeah.
I have never been a fan of crab. I did
Oh,
not. I
love
just was
crab.
never a fan. Oh, crab! I love crab. I don't like lobster.
Lobster.
This kind of thing.
Lobster's okay.
Yeah.
I had a bad experience with lobster when I was about 13 years old. It was New Year's Eve, and my aunt and uncle took us out for dinner. My mom and dad and Priscilla and I. And we went to this this Asian restaurant that my family loved. And I ordered I just said, I want lobster. And my uncle said, have you ever had lobster? And I said, no, I have not. And he said, well, what do you normally eat when you come here with your mom and dad? And I said, oh, I eat this and this. And he goes, well, I'm going to order that because I'm banking on you are not going to like lobster. And he was right. It does not taste like crab.
Mm-mm.
No, it's very different.
It is
Very
very
But
different.
I like lobsters, but yeah.
I do.
I'm not
I
sure why I
miss
don't like it.
baked clams. In New York, they get the baked clams. They put the breading with you put the lemon and the butter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Something like
Oh, he knows. He met her this afternoon. I also had a bad experience at the Crab Shack I thought, you know what a po' boy is? A po' boy sandwich?
Mhm.
Well, they had a deep fried, what are those like snotty mussel things? What are they called?
The hockaloogie.
Yes, Patty, you got it. They're like
oysters.
Yeah, we'll just call them that.
the poor boy oyster sandwich, and I
Muffle?
thought it looked so good. The picture looked so good, and Richard's like, I don't think so. You probably are not going to like it. And I wanted to like it so bad. I spent about 15
Oysters or
bucks on a sandwich.
Mussels.
And I did not like it. And I made myself eat it because it's like $15.
When was it?
Oh, that was about 4 years ago. And no, I wouldn't do it again.
Yeah.
No. There's Kenneth. Oh, Kenneth is waiting for us. We're gonna
Griswold family vacay raid. All right.
Thank you guys.
All
We're
right.
back.
Griswold came in. Had fun with you, Danny. We had
Thank
fun
you.
tonight.
So, Kenneth, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, doing just wonderful. I just got off of Griswold Family Vacays where they were doing the Kahoot, and I had a really good time over there. We played 5 rounds of Kahoot.
Yeah,
I don't even know if I should have been there.
that was fun.
I'm going to have to find out what that game is.
Oh, okay. That's a game?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a trivia game.
They can explain it to you better than I can.
Yeah.
Oh, Kahoot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like where you can pick different topics.
Yes. Trivia.
Yeah. And you got anywhere from 10 to 30 questions.
Right.
It was hard tonight.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very hard tonight.
Yeah, I went to New York last Christmas. It was my first Christmas there since 1991. Because normally I go either spring or summer because and I'm like, oh, I'll go for Christmas this year. Never again. Everybody got sick. Everything went wrong. But one thing is the game that they had was something about the werewolf.
Uh-huh.
And the cards go around, and there's the townspeople, like the werewolf. Like if everybody has to figure out who the werewolf is, so you all lie to each other about everything. And of course, when I was drinking and drugging, I could. And I usually confess to something low but bad, but never what was really going on, so that it seemed like I was telling the truth. But now it's like, are you the werewolf? I'm like, no, I'm not the werewolf. And it's like I think she's the werewolf.
It's Patty.
Yeah, it's Patty. It's like, I do not have a poker face to just be like, I look up the card. I'm like, everyone's gonna know. It's Patty. Everyone, it's Patty. Yeah, Patty's Terrell. Like, damn it,
Yep. Yep. Let's see. What else do we? Let's say. Who else we need to say hi to? Van Vita Travels. Thank you for coming, Paula.
Hey, Paula. Hey,
So
hey,
nice
hey,
to see
Paula.
Hey,
Hey,
Paula.
hey, Paula. I
you.
wanna marry you.
Hey, Kaylee.
Hey, Paula.
I
I'm
got
so
Justin,
hungry.
Christina,
Love
Adventure
sushi.
RV Adventures.
Now,
Yeah,
Kaylee,
say
are you
something
the
real
one that's
quick to
hungry and
Kaylee.
wants sushi, or is that the cat that wants the sushi?
Yeah,
Kaylee
right.
wants to see this. I wasn't realizing what she was talking about.
Yes, it's
It's what
beautiful.
my wife got me.
Oh,
a name
yes,
on it.
that is
Oh, it's
gorgeous.
beautiful.
That is so cool.
Do you do that work?
No, my
Okay.
wife had it made for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Bamarush.
she shopped online. It's all made out of metal.
Hmm.
I used to have a portrait of a family here, and she's like, "I got you a gift." It's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah.
But that's what it is, Kaylee.
Yeah, she just got really sick of seeing your family and wanted something else up there.
Well, because hers is mostly like this, and I always pretend I was picking her nose. So she wanted to be left out.
That's cool.
Like, let's find it.
That's
Yeah,
beautiful. Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah. I'm
that
thinking
is.
about making my logo.
Can't eat sushi. No. Kaylee's
Me
like, I
neither.
love sushi. Like, no.
Love sushi.
I tried it. Not for me. Just
Love
wanted to pop in and say, hey,
I
Rayleigh Creative Travel.
Bobby.
Yeah.
I love sushi myself.
Good
My
sushi.
son loves sushi too.
I like tempura, but I didn't like the sushi. I tried a few different flavors too. My brother took me to like this really nice sushi place on Long Island, and they make it like fresh right in front of you. Like, try this, try. So I'm like, all right, we'll try different things, and I was just like, every time like, oh, this is, yeah, I'm not really like. Looks like you don't like it. Well, yeah, I don't think I like this. It's like you got the tempura, and I'm like the tempura. I'm like, all right, can we get 15 more of these? This will eat, So.
Oh,
I was
Lord.
like, okay.
Yeah. I'm like, where's
He's like,
could we get more napkins, please?
yeah, I had never had Indian food. My brother's like, how can you not have Indian food? I'm like, I live in Oregon. There are a few Indian restaurants, but it's not really a big thing. Like in New York, it's like we have like the Chinese buffet here. We have a lot of Chinese buffets here in Eugene and Springfield. In New York, it's like all of the buffets. Like you have Indian buffets, like 5 every block. There's Indian buffets everywhere. So my favorite was the chicken tiki masala. Oh my God, that was awesome. Good
Good night,
stuff.
Gracie.
Yes.
Good night, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
Gracie.
Curry chicken.
Gracie. What chicken?
Curry.
Oh yes. Beautiful.
Now
I'm in
here,
Podunk, South Dakota, and we have Indian food here. So
Right. We do here. I normally don't have the money to go out to restaurants, so
I'll tell you, I do like. Also, I love. Brent, what is it I like? What's that type of Asian food I love? Thai food. I love Thai, and I love a particular one called Drunken Noodle. Drunken Noodle, and it is. Oh, and I have them always like multiply the heat. It's considered like a 3 heat, and I always have them multiply it by 2 or 3. So much so that the girl who takes my order chuckles. She cannot speak a lot of English, but when I tell her I want it 2 or 3 times as hot as normal, she's like, she goes and she asks them. One place wouldn't make it that hot for me.
They're like, forget it. She's trying to sue us. Like, no,
I
she was the
know.
best one at this hot. Was they're afraid? They're like, little white haired, the little white blonde lady wants what? Yeah. She's gonna she eats this, you can see blood squirting out her nose.
I know. And they just don't know. There isn't a heat that's too hot for me. I love heat.
Oh, I love it. Love spicy food. Kenneth, what's your favorite food?
No, I'm sorry. Just 1 second, guys. I've got it. My son's asking me a question. I got to see how to mute this dang thing.
I don't really. I don't really have a favorite because I like just about anything. I can get my hands and teeth on, pretty much.
Ju-
I'm that same way, but I can always say I'll always go for pulled pork.
Oh, good stuff.
yes.
I'll always go for pulled pork, pulled barbecue pork.
But
It's
I put out a couple videos on my channel.
he's
I don't know if anybody's ever got a chance to.
Oh, I see your food reviews.
Kenneth is one of the sweetest people on YouTube. Just straight up, just nothing but genuinely sweet and kind guy.
Very
Yes,
cool.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Let's see, Justin. People are saying goodnight to Gracie and
Say good night, Gracie.
good night, Gracie.
Someone
yeah.
put good night, George.
Yes.
There we go.
I'm not a fan of hot with no flavor. Right. There's hot and then there's spicy. There's flavorful. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can't eat hot like Lucretia can. I like spicy, but I couldn't, like, if she's telling them, I mean, 3 would probably be good. I'd have to try it. And then I might say, okay, go ahead and kick it up a notch, but I wouldn't just walk in and go, yes, please add,
I know.
extra.
You wouldn't be able to eat this then, would you?
Oh yeah, I love that.
Oh yeah, Tabasco. That's not, I'm like me. Every morning on my eggs, I cover it with salsa every morning.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Me too.
I love Tabasco on my chicken pot pie.
Oh,
that's
if it
good.
is, I think if you can't put something spicy on it and it's not a dessert, it probably shouldn't be eaten to start with, because why would you, but Richard does not like spice. He takes a medication that causes the spice to multiply.
Right.
And he just can't do it. Kaylee can use a little Tabasco.
Right, a tiny spot of Tabasco. Yeah.
I don't know. I just like heat. It's one of those crazy things.
Buffalo wings.
Now, I will say there is 2 things I will not touch. And that is guacamole and avocado.
Ah,
I love
Nope.
I'm the same way about broccoli.
Another thing I will not touch is I will not touch cottage cheese.
Yeah. Not a big fan.
What was Destiny something sauce? Somebody posted something about a comment, something Destiny sauce or something. What was that?
Dave's Insanity sauce.
So I bought, when Richard and I were at the coast a month ago, I bought a hot sauce that is a habanero sauce that is really good. The only problem that I've noticed with habanero sauces is they try to supplement or to kind of override the heat with adding too much sweet. And it just turns out way too sweet. I want hot for hot's sake.
God,
just go ahead and buy the habanero.
What am I studying right now? I'm studying powertrains and braking alignment. And I actually just finished my last and final assignment for braking alignment yesterday.
Oh, wow.
I'm just waiting on to take the final exam now on that class.
Wow. 11-foot tall Tabasco plant. She grows even scarier. Oh, the ghost peppers and stuff. Yeah, I can't
I've had ghost pepper.
Me too.
Yep.
Okay.
I got some ghost peppers given to me, and the guy said, "Now make sure that you wash your hands and that you put them in a container that's labeled, or other people could get hurt." Maybe you should be eating food, Lucretia, that can hurt people.
I love when people say wash.
Yeah, wash.
Wash.
Yeah.
Wash ghost pepper.
Wash my hands.
Speaking of ghost pepper, Dunkin' Donuts has a ghost pepper donut.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
I
need a lot of milk.
They are.
You get in a car and drive to Dunkin' Donuts.
No, yes, that's it. Yeah.
I have never heard of that, Kenneth. That's actually
Ghost
kind of
pepper
odd.
donut.
Well, yeah. Well, when I followed this channel called
Me too.
Butterfly Jen.
Huh?
She used to be called Jennifer. Her channel name used to be called Jennifer Keating. I think that's her real name actually.
Uh-huh.
But she has. I've noticed it on her channel. She does a lot of spicy food challenges and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the challenges that she did was the Dunkin' Donut
Ghost
uh,
pepper.
ghost pepper. Yeah, and they are good. I actually did a taste. I ate four. Me and Dad ate four of them the other day.
Really?
Yep.
That surprises me for some odd reason. I'm gonna have
Just
to
walk
go.
by the local field and set it on fire when they passed wind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were just breathing.
Yeah.
So Kaylee says, Kenneth Oaks, this community is so proud of you pursuing such an interesting, worthwhile trade. And that is absolutely true, Kenneth. And I so hope that you get to be employed by someone who absolutely appreciates you.
Right.
Thank you very much. I do hope the same myself.
Yep. Good night, Steve.
Good night,
Avenger
Steve.
RV Adventure. Thank you for coming by.
Good night, Scott.
Yeah, I just want to see you have a good experience. You got a great heart, and in my estimation, I think you deserve a good job. Really, I
Thanks.
do.
I appreciate the compliments very well. Thank you.
I come from a long line of grease monkeys.
Uh-huh.
Love it.
So I was watching a lady that is, I believe, and I'm not fully sure yet, that is going to be on the channel Monday for an interview. Is
Minivan
Lee. Minivan Lee, and she did a thing the other day with her minivan, and she was saying that women really should be able to. We should be able to do some things with our vehicles, like know how to check our oil, and in fact, potentially even change your own oil. I cannot. I mean, the vehicle we have right now, I could probably get underneath of it because it's an SUV and it's a little raised, but I also am claustrophobic. But beside the point, we should be able to check our oil, check our power steering fluid, check all of our fluids. We should know where they're at. And to notice if something seems odd, we should know how to change a tire. So one of the things that we have to buy, I want to buy a proper thingy-majigger to be able to pump up our rig so I can change the tire if necessary, because I just don't see down there like going like this.
I need that thing to go into the store. We need the thingamajiggy. No, not the thingamajig. The whatchamacallit thing. I don't know.
I
Yeah,
think
they have it
The guy behind the counter is just gonna shoot me.
a floor jack. I think to jack your vehicle up.
Yes.
Floor jack.
Yes, because
Yeah,
you know
there's
what?
one standard in your vehicle too.
Well, yes, I know that there is standard one, but one time I got myself into trouble with a jack because I had a 68 Pontiac Catalina, and I had been drinking and I had two flat tires.
That's the explanation.
And so I got the car home. I don't know how to this day we got the car home. I'll just be honest with you.
Don't ask
This
me
is
how she
why
got two flat tires either.
this is why I don't drink. Okay, so I did not know how I got, and I'm embarrassed by that. It's not right and it's not fair to drink and drive, and I had no right to put your life at risk. But I believed at the time and under the influence of alcohol that I did have that right, and so I'm never going to risk that again. But so I got home the next day. I'm parked in front of our house, and I jack up one side of the car, and then I go over, I get another jack from my parents' car, and I jack up that side. And just as I got it jacked up, that a 68 Pontiac Catalina is a heavy vehicle. Just as I get it jacked up, it falls off of both jacks towards me. And my neighbor across the street was a mechanic. He was a diesel mechanic for one of the gravel companies in town, and he'd go work on their vehicles all night long. Well, he happened to be standing there watching me, and just he saw what I was doing, and he could not yell at me fast enough. And Kaylee, yes, the doohickey to connect them. Absolutely, the doohickey thingy. And it fell off the jacks, and it missed crushing me by inches and centimeters. And so, and he's yelling at me, screaming at me, you don't ever jack, blah, blah, blah. So I apparently don't know how to do that right.
Screaming at you to save your injury.
Yes, he was. Right. He was scared. He came over and he's just said, "You don't ever do that again." So I'm not, I'm not overly versed in mechanics.
Right.
But Richard is, and Richard will get better and he will recover from this surgery. And he knows what to do. But she was assuming, like, let's say somebody is injured. And I'm going to drop the link in case another person would like to come up. I think we'll go till the half hour and then probably stop there because I'm supposed to look at a RV tomorrow. I didn't want to say anything because it seems like when I tell people, it's a jinx. It's a jinx by telling. Anyways, Kaylee, girl, you had dumb. Yes, I had dumb luck that day. And I don't think I have too much more dumb luck. Get AAA, yes. And so I want to be able to at least know basic stuff. And I do. I know how to check oil. I know how to check all those good things. And just be able to, in an emergency, that's why I want to know how to drive the rig we get. I don't care what it is, because if something happens and Richard is sick or injured, I don't think we'll be too far off grid.
Right, that's like having AAA. It's like, it's great to have AAA, but what if you're in an area that doesn't have any Wi-Fi?
You got to fend for yourself.
What if you're in a space where you can't?
I'm gonna call Backroads Nomad.
There you go.
He knows everything. What's that?
Connecty things, the doohickey connecty things.
Yes, the doohickey things. And Justin, you're right. It was the jack. It was the jack. That was the word that was escaping me. But actually, Patty, there's places they will not come. AAA will not come to get you. It doesn't matter.
No, they won't.
They don't come. Now, I will say another item that we will have when we go on the road is called a PLB. Who here knows what a PLB is? Is anybody in the chat even? A P?
Portalo boy sandwich.
Is it a police line? A police line?
You're close, but that's not it. Gone Boondocking is here. Thank you, David. Oh, I love you so much. You are the man, buddy. You know it too. But you are too humble to say it.
It's not a peanut butter, lettuce, and beef sandwich. What is a PLB?
A PLB is a personal locator beacon. They have a couple different types.
Never heard it called that acronym.
It's that's what I've heard it by.
PLB
is PLB, portable locator beacon, and there is a kind that you only use it if it is a life and death emergency, because if they need to come and get you, they will charge you if it's not. You will.
Right.
You
that's
will
the kind of thing like when they're on the slopes of Mount Hood and stuff.
Yes.
And that's because every year people die because they fall off a trail, the avalanche happens, and if they don't have that, they're up a creek.
That's right.
And even having one, they could die.
Yeah.
I found that out through a guy I follow that's in your area, Wrangler Star.
Oh, Wrangler Star. Yes, I love that guy.
Yeah, that's who I found that out through. Never heard that acronym, but yeah, I know that.
Yep, I'm actually ready to start driving around central Southern Oregon to find him and Mrs. Ringlestar. I think they're very cool people. So And then they have other ones where you can, I know, Patty, can you see me out there just driving the desert of Central Oregon? Where's
Yes.
Mrs. and Mr. Wranglestar?
I can definitely see you doing that. Hello at Mrs. Wranglestar. Yeah. You'll be burning up the roads. You'll be online. Where the hell are you? Yeah. I got the thingy. I just need Mr. and Mrs. Wranglestar. Yeah.
I need the Ringo Star's approval.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, here's a good one. Like the guy who had to chew off his Omar.
Oh my God.
I think that was in New Mexico or Arizona. One of those two
Oh
places.
yeah, all that movie.
It could have been Utah. You know, the slotted canyons? I think it was Utah.
I think it was Utah.
Yes.
And I lived in Wyoming for 3 years, and man, there's some crazy, there's some scary stuff out there. It's just you're in the middle of nowhere.
That's right. I'm going to do something real quick here on my phone.
Like
What can you imagine?
Right.
Having to go through that depth.
Right.
Well,
he had like a pocket knife.
Yes.
So you have to break your arm first so that you can cut through the bone.
Yep.
Or a second.
And I gave Gone Boondocking a moderator's wrench. So yeah, you're somebody who needs a moderator's wrench. Yeah, and that would be terrifying. But first of all, I'm never going to be in a slotted canyon because I am claustrophobic. And so I may be a little crazy, but I know my limits today. And my walker will not fit down a slotted canyon.
There you go.
It's not going to maneuver.
There you go, Lucretia.
His first mistake was he went there alone. Well, his first mistake was he didn't tell anybody where he was going. That was his first mistake.
Right.
He didn't tell anybody. If you're going to go off anywhere alone like that, you need to tell like the local authorities or whatever, show them your map and show them where you're headed so that in case you are missing, they have an idea where to start looking for you.
Yes.
And that's what it is. Like you go on Mount Hood, you're supposed to tell them where you're going. You don't
Right.
just, I'm just going to start hiking Mount Hood. It's like you can't do that because there's so many different ways to get lost and die there that no one will even find you,
Yeah.
It's a big mountain. Yeah.
And it was Utah. Kaylee said he cut it off with a pocket knife, and it was in Utah.
And then he had to break it.
Because you can't. He wouldn't have been able to use a pocket knife to cut the bone. He had to break the arm first so that he could cut through it.
Oh man, I'll tell you, I've had a broken bone, and it is painful.
Well, he was on it for 3 days.
I was gonna say he probably couldn't feel it anymore.
Yeah.
It was dead.
Yeah, he couldn't even feel it anymore.
And I saw the documentary after that movie came out, and he said that he felt the pain, but it wasn't as excruciating as people would think it would be.
Right.
Well, and I had my experience with rock climbing when I was young. I was a camp counselor for my little sister. She was in the 6th grade, and I was in high school. Oh, God, I hear something. And and so it was kind of a rainy day, and okay, I have to find some way to say this nicely. I was an idiot, and I was wearing just the yellow rain pants. That's it. Let me. I had on a shirt too, but I'm just saying. I was a teenager, for God's sakes. I'm 59 now. That's like, let's see, 17, 27, 30. It's 40 years ago, people. All right. I was young once. And so I'm terrified of heights.
Are you sure about that?
Yes. And I'm terrified of heights. But if I couldn't do it, how could I encourage somebody else to do it? Is what I was told. So we're doing belaying and rappelling, going up, up the rock. And so I get like halfway up, and I have short legs. I have like a 26-inch instinct. They're
Well,
short legs. They
well,
don't
that's what
go far.
it took so long for the rescue team because they had to go back and get their cameras because she was only.
And so my yellow pants split out completely. It was a bad situation, and I'm screaming to the people down below to turn their heads. And I got up on the rock, and I do not know. Again, I blacked out in fear. I don't know how they got me down. I was beyond terrified. So
Yeah.
I stay away from rocks. Anything that I have to climb up on.
I think I was about 18, and my brother Steve and his girlfriend, we went to Mount Bear Mountain in New York. Now, Bear Mountain, the mountains on the East Coast are very, very, very old. So the mountains there are like 2,000 feet tall. Well, that's our mountain, man, and we're proud of it, by gum. So they were going to go hiking up the Bear Mountain, and I'd been drinking, obviously.
No.
I'm wearing it's summertime. I'm wearing sandals, an Indian skirt, and a t-shirt. They're like, "Hey, you want to come with us?" And I said, "Sure." So we drove upstate, and we go to Bear Mountain. And what did they tell you? Do not leave the path. You stay on the trail. So of course we get up a bit, and of course we immediately leave the trail.
That's right. You break brush.
We start going up, and then of course, one thing leads to another, and I go sliding down in my Indian skirt and my sandals.
Oh.
And my brother caught my wrist, and I am dangling over like a 35-foot drop. My feet are just laying in space. And I looked up at him like the rocks and the dirt is just piling over my face. I was like, "Please don't let go." And he's trying not to laugh because he's terrified. Like, how am I going to tell Mom I killed my little sister? Like I led her off the path. She followed me. I'm like, "Sure, bro, let's go. Where do you want to go now?" "Why did you do your sister?" And so. Yep. But I was absolutely terrified. I was just like, this was when you get to that moment, that's when you're like, wow, there was some really poor decisions on my part. Yeah. Little adventure, I didn't think this through. Yeah.
Where did
I think a lot of people die with those words in their head. Like, I didn't really think this through right before they die. Like, wow, that was a really stupid thing to do. And they're gone because we just happen to not die. But how many people die with the thought in their head of, wow, that was really stupid? And it's like, and they're dead. Yeah. Like my brother's laughing. He can't stop himself from laughing. And meanwhile, Ellen is at the top of the hill, like, don't let go of her. And I'm just dangling off this cliff, like, wow, this is okay. This isn't how I saw the day going.
Oh no.
Actually brings up an interesting point. She says, I want to tent camp I used to camp. Adirondacks. I want to do the whole freaking Appalachian Trail.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's what I want to do.
Right. That's a long hike. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what, 2,500 miles?
Something like that. Yeah. That's a long hike.
And I do hear it's a very grueling hike. People who've done the Appalachian Trail and also the one that goes through California, Oregon, Washington, up to Canada. I can't think of the name of it.
I can't think of the name of it right now.
Maybe somebody in the
actual
chat.
trail that runs through the whole thing.
Oh yes, yes. And Carolyn from Carolyn's RV Life, she did it from Oregon up through most of Washington. And somebody's probably got that.
Right. Yeah, the Appalachian Trail is yeah. That's not for novices. It's not for novices.
No.
Yeah, I watched a YouTuber do it, and it was just
phenomenal.
I watched the whole 13-part series over like 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yep.
and it was great. And he's got a 3-year-old in his back.
Oh, goodness.
Mhm.
Scary stuff.
Kaylee made a good point. I don't want dumbass on my death certificate.
It's cause of death. Dumbass.
Absolutely stupid. This girl
Yes.
is an idiot.
Followed Big Brother. Bad brother.
Followed, yep.
Followed Big Brother. Yeah.
B&D Craft says one of his friends from high school hiked the Appalachian Trail.
Right.
Hold
Yeah,
on here.
That's a big dream of mine.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord.
A
I'm
woman's
not sure what that's about, but we'll pass right by it.
What?
I don't know.
If
I
a
don't know.
woman's fluids, and I was like, what? And we went to the next one. I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure that I want to read that.
I know.
Who said
know.
that?
Yes, Kaylee, the Appalachian Trail is the East Coast. It's like Tennessee and north.
Right. Right.
Justin and Christina have done all types of camping, but unless I don't have a choice, I would
Right.
never tent camp. I would never tent camp
done.
again.
I'm so done tenting. I would yurt. I'd go on a yurt. I'll do a cabin. That's fine. Bring my own sheets and stuff, but I can't do the sleeping on the ground. I'm done. I'm so done.
Sissies.
Yeah.
Sissies.
That's all we ever did. That's all every vacation I've been on has been camping. I'm done.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
love
want to.
camping.
I do love it, but I just want a bed.
That's why I pack a Nomad just.
That's called glamping, Patty.
Yeah,
We're glampers.
I would like to glamp.
To some degree, I'm a glamper.
Yeah, the last time I went camping, I got out there and realized the poles weren't in with the tent.
Oh,
my friend lent me her tent, and the woman I was with was like, "Didn't you check for the poles?" And I was like, "No, I assumed when my friend gave me her freaking tent that the poles were in with it." So I'm there. I'm like, okay.
The last
Didn't
time
hold your tongue.
Yeah.
One of the last when Richard and I used to tent camp a lot when we were much younger, like in our 20s, and we used to do these earrings. Like right here is one. This is one of them. We used to make earrings. Nice. We bought a Toyota and paid it off with making earrings, and we did it on the coast. And so we would. This is youth, and this is being, agile. We were still agile. We didn't need the comfort of a bed, and so we had a dome tent. It wasn't even a tent you could stand up in. And the Oregon coast rains a lot. And we'd go sell our earrings during the day to these places, stores, and then at night we would go get in our little tent and light up our lantern and make earrings. But we didn't need to have chairs and tables and now
just sat on the floor. Yeah, I camped into my 40s, and it's like in the last 10 years, I'm like, I don't want to camp anymore. I don't want to camp.
She couldn't wait to get out here. That's all you get.
This is now the Kaylee. Let's see, Kaylee, we're quite alone. And that's true. I understand that. And recently Box Van D was in trouble. And Box Van D, in case you don't know Kaylee, Patty, who she is, you should watch her Sundays. You will be completely inspired at a very deep spiritual level.
I subscribed to her there the other day after you talked about her. I went and looked her up and checked her out and was like, subscribe.
That's
so
yeah,
she's awesome.
Yes. Well, she was she does so much herself, everything. Well, she was having trouble getting a window up in her van, and she's a box van, and she came on I almost said Facebook, on YouTube, and within I think a half an hour somebody was there helping her. And sometimes people need help, and I'm sure I don't take for granted that I've got someone with me who knows what he's doing most of the time. Some of the time, quite a bit of the time. All of the time, he says.
There you go, Richard.
Yes. So, Kenneth, have you ever done any camping when you were young? Did you guys go camping at all?
I have. I've actually been camping twice.
Huh?
and I've done tent camping. The first time I went tent camping, it was very uncomfortable because all I had was 2 camping pads
Uh-huh.
at the time, and a sleeping bag, and of course, I was sleeping on mostly concrete
Hmm.
underneath that. Yeah. The
That's
second
not
time I
comfortable.
went camping, I went and bought me. Somebody had mentioned something about I needed to get me one of them air mattresses. Well,
Uh-huh.
I went and bought me one of them air mattresses, and it was very comfortable. So I slept much better the second time I went camping.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is more comfortable.
I
So,
had a little cot that I set up the last time, and that helps.
Cots are comfortable.
Cots.
Yeah.
It's just little, but it's little,
Mhm.
Pete Rossi says, I'd put gas in my wife's car until I realized it was a disservice to her. In Oregon, you're not allowed to pump your own gas.
Right.
We do not pump our own gas.
If you cross into Washington, and if you forget that, I was like about 10 years ago, a friend of mine and I went up to Washington. It was like her great grandmother's funeral or memorial. And we got up there, we pulled in the gas station, and we
You sat there a while.
And I know the guys inside the gas station are like, Oregon idiot women. We're just like, why aren't they coming out to pump the gas? So finally I was like, oh yeah, we're in Washington now. You have to. And she didn't know how to pump gas. She grew up in Oregon. I grew up in New York. You pump your own gas. And it was like, you need to learn how to do this in case you're ever out so that you know how to do this.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
No, I know that I'll learn how to pump gas. I want to be able to do everything. I don't want to just leave it for Richard, but he's going to have to learn to cook. All right. So if I'm going to start doing any of this other stuff, he needs to learn to cook. Don't you agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
I can do breakfast.
He can do breakfast.
You got to learn a lot more than that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
like the idea of having a van where you could just put a mattress in there so that you don't have to worry about setting up a tent. You just go there. But it's not like RV life, but just to have that, not to have it in there all the time, but that. So
I try to point that out in my video when I see an RV or a van. I always try to point out van life because usually it's a little bit different.
Right.
Justin and Christina say, well, in Quebec, it's rare. You don't have to pump your own gas.
Right.
Right.
In New York, you pump. The East Coast, you pump your own gas. Yeah.
Yeah. Down south, you pump your own gas. It's an Oregon thing.
Yeah.
I get sometimes pump my own gas when I moved to Jersey. Right, Jersey, you don't. Yeah. To pump, it's against the law.
Mm-hmm.
After I asked him why, people kept freaking out about it. Yeah. Get away from the pump. I don't know what they think. Maybe people are drunk and stupid and smoking or whatever. Yeah. But in New Jersey, that was one of the things in New Jersey is you can't make a left turn. I lived in New Jersey for 3 years. You can't make a left turn. If you want to make a left-hand turn, you have to turn right onto this road and then make a left and then it takes you over here and then you can go, and it's like, and so coming there from New York, and it was like, because you know how in Oregon, wherever you're from, there's always like those drivers. In Oregon, it's Washington, like the Washington drivers.
Oh, yeah.
But in New York, it's Jersey drivers. It was like, oh, Jersey drivers. And then I moved to Jersey. I'm like, no wonder they drive like idiots. They can't make a left-hand turn in their own state. And I'm like, oh my God.
Because in New York and Jersey, you'll end up in the ocean.
Way. It's like, no, but in order to go left, you have to go right and then go right again and then go right again. And it's like, like you people are crazy.
Yes.
We
do the same thing here in South Dakota about Minnesota.
Haley, only when it's signed, they call it all turns. I don't know. And you know what I don't like, Patty? And that is our roundabouts here.
Right. I don't like the roundabouts so much, but I do love the double roundabouts that they put in over by me in Glenwood. the double roundabout. Have you seen that? It's 2 roundabouts on top of each other.
Oh,
Just,
yes.
Because one clusterfuck wasn't
Yes, I
enough.
think it's.
Close your ears, Kenneth.
I know. That's right.
Close your ears,
It's like a
Kenneth.
clover leaf.
You don't hear this. They're talking about 2 roundabouts on top of each other.
Yeah, they did. They made
Yeah.
it looks like an 8. It's just like it's an 8. It's 2
Yep.
roundabouts, and it's just like you pull up and you're like, what the hell were you guys thinking?
So
I
you
know.
got to make 2 turns,
Right.
4 turns.
It's.
It's a figure 8.
I believe the intern. I believe the intern who designed that got an F on their
Right.
project.
Mhm.
The construction guys that worked on it were like, this is the weirdest thing I've ever worked on. Like,
Driving through Montana and Wyoming,
Yeah.
I kind of like roundabouts more than I like 4-way stops.
Oh,
That's more than I need.
yeah.
If it's
Right.
more than if it's actual, because in Montana they'll have a 4-lane highway coming into a roundabout, and everybody gets confused.
yeah.
It's like, really? You don't know what to do? It's that easy. They got the signs.
Well, yeah, they'll be in the
People don't know
left-hand
how to
lane and
do
they
it.
need to go right. And they'll hit the roundabout at 45 miles an hour
Mhm.
and then realize they need to make a right. And then they try and cross 3 lanes of traffic.
Yep.
Mhm.
That when they first put the one in over by Riverbend Hospital, Patty, there was several accidents the first week.
Right.
Like just one accident right after. You know, and I did have to cross. I was going to say, so you saw that person crossing those 3 lanes. I didn't. I tried to keep my mask on.
Right. It's well, it is. It's and people. If they're not used to it, and here we didn't really have them, so people are starting to get used to them. But
Yeah.
I know that has reduced the amount of accidents, but it really only works if people slow down. So
Right.
when people hit the roundabout at 45 miles an hour when they're supposed to be doing 25, it makes it a little difficult to not get in an accident.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Here, Kaylee asks, have any of you ever driven Interstate 95 through Washington, D.C., monster multi-lane traffic circle? Well, someday I will, because it's one of the places I want to go.
I've been to DC a few times, but it was so long ago, and I wasn't I was a kid. So I didn't drive. I was a kid in the car. So
This is cute. Pete Rossi says, and he's talking about Florida. See, Pete Rossi said that they have 2-lane roundabouts here in Florida. We have 2-lane roundabouts here as well. And then down here, he says, or Justin commented and said something. And then Pete goes, Justin, that explains why a lot of snowbirds here in Florida just sit there and wait.
Oh, they're all from New York. They don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Kenneth, I hope you know that I'm just messing with you, okay, bud?
Say hi. Say hi.
I'm not been a fan of the back roads, going on back roads, because you don't have no room. If something happens to your vehicle or whatever, you ain't got no room to pull over on them.
That's
They're
true.
like this.
Right. That was one of the things I wondered about with you getting a 30-something foot RV is there are roads that you legally can't drive on. There will be roads that you legally can't drive on depending on how long your vehicle is. I don't know what there are like the truckers know the routes that they can't take. But I don't know if they have I'm sure that somebody created some sort of resource for people in RVs of how long, like if you've got a 30, 35 footer, there are probably roads you can't go on because there'll be a turn that your vehicle will not be able to make.
Right.
Hey, I want to say goodnight. I want to say goodnight to David. Gone boondocking, is heading out. He's got a lot to do. You have a blessed night too, dear. Thank you for coming in.
Good night.
Thank you so much.
Good night.
Go ahead. You can finish sharing, Anthony.
Good night, John. Brenda.
We were, of course, if you come
Red
up
light.
here to South Dakota and you're going to take the Needles Highway in the Black Hills,
Uh-huh.
and you're going to have a Class A, and you're going to take a Needles Highway, you only have one route. Well, the guy took the backwards route.
Oh.
And there's a lot of hairpin turns. Well, you can do it in a Class A, but you have one route. Well, he took the route that you don't have.
That's what happened when we moved here from Wyoming. We had a U-Haul truck, a big one, and we screwed up and went through onto this road that we were not supposed to be on.
You can't do it. I mean, it's
We
just
had to turn around. We couldn't go through. Yeah.
Yeah, it's physically impossible.
Yeah.
And this guy realized when he got to the first hairpin tunnel,
Right.
and there's a hairpin that comes right before you get to it, and he had to back that big Class A up.
Oh.
And he has a ladder on the back of the side of it.
Oh my gosh.
And we watched it, and we're coming out of the tunnel just as soon as he starts backing that thing up. And he hits his big ponderosa pine.
Oh no.
That ponderosa pine is just.
Oh my gosh.
And he nails it. He nails it hard.
Oh.
And there's signs all over. Says if you got Class A, don't take this road.
Right.
And if you do, take this route. If you're going to risk it, take this route. Well, we went the route where it says take this route. So we're coming through it, and I don't have a very, very big truck. I got an F-150. We come through there, and we see that guy in that Class A, big thing. I mean, luxurious camping Class A. And he's got a ladder on the back, and he hits that sign or that tree. And that tree just and a bunch of branches falling down on top of him.
Smoke.
We look at the back of that truck, and that ladder's just mangled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and we felt sorry for him.
Did you guys get out and help direct him, or did you guys?
No, because there's plenty of signs.
Well, I
If
meant
he
for
can't
helping.
read, that's his own problem.
Well, I meant to help him to turn around. No, it is. Yeah.
There's no place to turn around.
Oh my gosh.
It is a 2-lane highway.
Oh,
And 2-lane. When I mean 2-lane, it's like this.
Yeah.
2-lane.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
very skinny.
That's one of the reasons I want to say a couple of things first. Pete Rossi says, Killer Beard Bama. And Backroads Nomad comes to the rescue. The trail I was talking about that goes through California, Oregon, Washington, the Pacific Crest Trail.
That's it. Yeah.
Yep. So one of the reasons I'm kind of vacillating between the rig that we have is because I don't want to get stuck anywhere. Now, I would love to have a great big monster, but realistically speaking, that's ridiculous. So I was even the other night, I was laying in bed and I was looking at all these really cool vans, and I'm not talking big vans. I'm talking like extended Conoline vans where they have they're done really cute. And they're like a little tiny house, but I'm talking little tiny house. It does have, the one I was looking at has a queen size bed, but it's just not a realistic setting for Richard and I. So, but I'm afraid of getting in one of those situations where we have to back up somewhere, back down a road. And I do not want to. One time, Richard and I went down by Cottage Grove, Patty. There is the mines. Oh gosh, you know it. There was mining done here in Lane County, and down a little bit further. And there's these mines, and I swear I can't remember the name of them, but they we were going to go up to them, drive this gravel road, and I didn't know how steep it was, but it was so steep. It was like this, and our tires were spinning. I had Richard stop the van, and I got me and Brent out, and I said, "We are walking. We are," because he was going to back up and turn around, and I said, "I'm not going over the cliff with you. It's not my fault. I'm getting out with my kid." You know, Brent was little at the time, and I trust nobody with my life, not at that level, and I didn't feel safe, and so I'm like, "See ya. I love you, but I'm not dying with you." And we didn't know it was going to be such a hellacious ride.
Right.
It was scary.
But at least nowadays we have the kind of no commercial or large vehicles on the parkways. Yep, only expressways. Remember the belt, Southern State and LAE? That's true. On the Southern State Parkway on Long Island, when you're driving along, there's no trucks allowed. No pickup trucks, no SUVs. Although I think they just started letting SUVs in the last year. So it was only for regular cars, so that it would be, to maintain the beauty. They didn't want low trash. They didn't want low trash people on their roads, ruining their parkways. Yeah, this is where I grew up. But when you're driving down, it's like being inside a green tube, because the trees overhang so well that you're just driving through the sunlit green tube. It's absolutely stunning. But yeah, I don't remember what the hell I was talking about. But yeah.
40-footer with a toad. I do not know how you get around with that baby. Because see, that to
There's
me,
got to be a map of something. There's got to be resources available for each state to where you can and cannot go.
But see, what I understand is on the national highways, there is a level, what do you call it, a height? All of the bridges are that height if you're on a national highway. So, and also I wouldn't go someplace where it said, "Stop, don't bring your rig in here. You're going to end up having to back down the highway." That's just not me.
But that's
I'm
what I'm
grabbing
saying
the steering wheel from Richard and saying, "Stomp on the brakes." Stop. Thank you.
So that's just it. It's like, all right, let's go check out, let's go on the Highway 101 along the coast. And it's like, but are there any tunnels on the coast that you couldn't bring a rig that big in? And it's like, I would want to check before I do that,
Well, see, they have big rigs that run up and down 101, and there's a few tunnels. That is Reese's Pieces. A couple Reese's Pieces. Also, backing up for a second to the glamping camping, there are some glamping camping spots that are beautiful. They have real beds, literally set up in like a canvas tent.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't pack that bed up every day and haul it around with you.
Right.
No.
Yeah, now here they have, at the state parks and the federal parks, they have yurts where it's got, there's no toilet there. You have to go, hike over, but it has a fireplace and a couple of beds and a little table and a chair. And for me, it's like, that's perfect, because I'd like to be out in the woods again. I just don't want to have to do the whole setting up the tent, because I don't want to have to set up a tent. I don't have a partner. I'm on my own. Yeah. So
now there is a tent-like thing called a, oh my goodness, it is. You just pop it up. It's literally, it might take 5 minutes for one person to.
Tent?
No, it is called a well, they have different sizes, but if you look online, it is it's one particular
brand.
Mm-hmm. My phone is dead. I'm so sorry. My phone is dead. I plugged it into my computer. I thought that would help charge it, but it did not. I wish I could think of it. I should be able to know those things while I'm sitting here talking to people. 63 Pete Rossi. So you're saying that your rig combined with your car is 63 feet? Well, obviously, because if you have a 40-footer Class A and a
Pickup truck or something.
and a car, 12 feet would make sense. Most cars, 10, 12 feet. That's a lot of stuff to haul. Do you have a backup camera? Because that's one of the things I need to make sure that I'm able to get a backup camera on whatever we're driving. It's a requirement, It's kind of like brakes.
Right.
Justin and Christina a 21-foot van which can park and fit anywhere. So I think tomorrow we may go look at a van. Well, let me back up. It is a 26-foot Class C, but it kind of looks like a Class B. If you know what a Class B is, it kind of reminds me more of a Class B, but it's a Class C. And then there's Class A near us it's near us, and it is 30 foot, 28 or 30, but it does have the walk around queen. But we were supposed to go look at it the other day, and then I got a text message that they found out there was a problem. There was a problem with the gas, and what they told me is they were having a real mechanic come and flush the gas out of their gas tank and replace that. And also there was something else they were going to replace, because he said we want to sell a solid rig. And those two things, the gasoline and something else they needed to change out. Oh, a battery. They needed to get a new battery and fresh gas.
What, did somebody accidentally put non-diesel fuel in there or something?
Well, it's a gasoline rig. It's not diesel, but I think it was in storage. And I have heard from more than one person that if you leave gasoline, it will get thick.
Yeah.
Something happens.
And it will turn. It will actually turn to water.
It'll turn to water. Well,
with the gel.
Backroads Nomad is here. You give me a thumbs up when you're ready to go. Okay.
Yeah, and then you more than likely want to replace the fuel pump too.
Okay, that would make sense. Well, Backroads, thank you for coming up.
Hello, I'm coming to you from the top of Downer. Whoa! Hold on.
Love it.
Oh, there we go. I'm coming to you from the top of Downer Pass.
Oh, cool.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Is there anybody with, I hope there's nobody with you.
No, there's nobody with me.
Yeah. Not anymore. Well, so sorry, it's late and I've drank a bunch of coffee.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I got my coffee.
Yeah. It must. I imagine it's pretty cold there.
Yeah.
No, actually, it's 58 degrees.
Oh, Matt! Wow.
It's what degrees?
58.
It's colder than that here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's colder than that in Eugene.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 58 degrees and no snow. Usually Downer Pass is snow. There's no snow.
That's what I would have assumed. That's why I said that. I'm surprised.
Yeah. I remember living in Wyoming. It was like would start snowing in September. I'd be like, wow. So yeah.
I'm hoping we get snow. So what are you up to this weekend?
Had to come to California to pick the wife up.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
Good.
What's your wife doing?
And we're picking up a couple of snowmobiles that a friend is giving us.
Oh,
wow.
that's nice.
Oh, that's nice.
So you're hauling a trailer then?
Yep, sure am.
You probably have a lot of experience with that kind of thing, though.
Right.
Yeah, well, I drove semi for a number of years too. So yeah.
Duh. One of the women in my chat the other day, it might have been Kaylee, I don't remember if it was you, Kaylee, or not, said when I said we were going to Central Oregon and I was going to be having to drive back this 30-foot RV if we bought it, plane and stay there.
You've never driven a U-Haul or anything when you're
No.
moving?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's different.
Well, there you
animal.
go. Rent
You got
a
that
U-Haul
weight
for a
behind you.
day.
Totally
You know,
different.
$30. Rent a
Yeah,
U-Haul for a
it's
day.
good to-
Drive around.
It's good to go slow until you get used to it.
Yeah.
Sure. And I just figured, it's just a vehicle, by the way. It's got a steering wheel like every other vehicle. It's got a brake. And, that's what you need. A brake and a steering wheel. Because there's a lot of downhill.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Well,
remember that if
the
you're
only-
that big of a rig, you need to go into a different gear. You can't leave it in drive.
Oh, I know. They have low.
Okay.
I assume it has a low gear.
Right. Yes, they should. Yeah.
And B&D Craft says it's 1:45 part 2
Part
here.
2 here. That's right. Yeah.
Yep. Oh,
Yeah, we
gosh,
haven't
that's
switched clock yet. Yeah.
going back in time. Hey, will I get all my time on YouTube? Are they going to count it or are they going to make me lose an hour?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, no, we're
Yeah.
gaining an hour. You'll get an extra hour, maybe. Yeah.
Oh, that's true. There we go.
Just what 2020 needed, an extra hour.
Oh,
Yeah.
please,
Oh,
God.
that is
No.
tonight, isn't it?
We didn't have
Well,
enough of
tomorrow
this
night.
year. Give us
I know
more.
it. It's like 2020 can go bye-bye.
Yeah.
So is there, so besides going slow, is there any other imparted wisdom you can give me, Backroads, when I do drive? Because until Richard is off his pain medicine, I have to drive.
Yeah.
If it's an automatic, yeah, you want to keep it in drive going uphill, but you want to downshift going downhill, so you don't use the brakes as much. You let the transmission.
Right.
If it's a manual, then you have to learn how to upshift and downshift going up and downhill.
Now, I've driven a manual vehicle. That's what I learned to drive on. I remember my dad had a Ford, one of those. It's like I see them all over now. They make them up really nice. He had this blue Ford and with a white stripe, and we went to the dump. We did a dump run, and he had me backing up to the edge of the dump, and I was screaming out the window, "I'm going to go over the edge, Dad! I don't want to do this." He's like, "Back the, son of a bitch up! You're not going to go over the edge," because he was back there directing me, and I'm like, I don't like this.
Yeah, I'm not drunk enough for this, Dad.
I know it. Yeah.
Daddy wouldn't hurt his little girl.
That's
No,
true.
he wouldn't, but I did not feel safe. Because, you back up. I backed up and there was nothing, I couldn't see anything behind me.
Right.
Practice filling
Kaylee's
where
saying
your
I should take a
vehicle
bus
is.
driving
Yeah.
class.
Well,
I-
driving a bus and driving a truck and trailer are two different animals. So the best thing to do if you get a fifth wheel, when you get it, go to an empty parking lot and practice maneuvering it in the empty parking lot before you drive it.
Uh-huh.
Good idea.
Get used to how it handles. Get used to backing it up. Get used to how it swings.
Mhm.
You can take a fifth
Pop a couple of
wheel
wheelies.
and do a 360 within its own footprint. You
Yeah.
turn the truck 90 degrees to the fifth wheel, so you get used to how that works. You get used to how to back it up. It's a lot
that's
more
true.
maneuverable and a lot easier to haul than a bumper pull. So,
Is it?
yes.
Yeah,
much
RV Van Life says check your side mirrors. They have larger blind spots.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't thought of
Right.
that. Yeah.
That's why semis are fifth wheel style instead of bumper pull, because they're much easier to maneuver and much easier to pull.
Okay. All right. Well, I've thought of all we've talked about, Richard. I've talked about all the options, and I really think I'm thinking that a fifth wheel would be a good idea, but then we do need to get a bigger truck, and within our price range right now, the best thing is a Class C. But we need to just get started. We need a safe vehicle to get started with, and I have heard from so many people who are full-time nomads or pretty full-time nomads that they've had multiple rigs in their career as a nomad.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
they get
yeah,
into with lots of different
it-
kinds.
Well, I started out in an E150 conversion van with a mid rise high top on it. Then
Uh-huh.
I went up to a E350 with a high top extended body diesel.
Mhm.
Then I went up to a school bus. Then I went up to a Bluebird 40-foot bus.
Okay.
And for me personally, when I travel, I'd rather just be in a van. I prefer a van. It's a lot easier. It's easier to maneuver, easier to go a lot of places, and you're not living in the vehicle. You're living out of it because you're spending most of your
Yes.
time out exploring and things of that nature. So you don't have to have a big rig unless you're like gone boondocking where you're actually living at 24/7,
Uh-huh.
365. They spend a lot of time in the RV. So, because
Uh-huh.
David does a lot of his computer technical stuff. So, if you're not the kind to go out and hike and go out and explore, then you do want something with a little bit more room.
Right.
But there's trade-offs that you have to think about. You have to consider when you're parked somewhere, your safety has to be first. So, do you want a vehicle that you can climb from the bed into the driver's seat and take off if you have to, like Carolyn's RV Life has had to do?
Right.
Or are you comfortable with having to get out of the trailer, climb into the truck, and maybe you won't be able to if you're being broken into or accosted or
Right.
whatever the case might be. So there's trade-offs. You have to think about the two.
Well, and I've made sure, I'll just say this as, you know, as carefully as I can. I've made sure that we have all the protection that we're going to need. I'm not to be caught off guard. I'm just not.
And that's a great idea. But there are
Right.
times when you may have to jump in the driver's seat and just gun it out of there and take off. I mean,
Yeah.
you
Well,
never know.
That is, so you're right. I mean, that is also one of the reasons we've always thought we either wanted a van. Originally it was going to be a van. I thought we could do this in a like an E350 and one of the extended E350s, and we could get a queen size bed built in there, and I mean, they've got running water sinks. One even has a shower. You have to sit down, but they've
Right.
got this thing tricked out. And but we just, because of our back issues, we both need to be able to stand. Hunched over all the time is just not workable. But I do want to show you guys something. Patty, I was telling you about a pop-up shelter thing. So here's one. It's called a Gazelle. I'm going to pull it up here for a moment so you can see what it looks like. And right there, these pop up just like that. And there is a guy on YouTube who has done this you can also get them where they've got the covers that come with this. Like this one is just open. It's got the screening, but it's not covered with the canvas and stuff. Well, you can get those to cover it. And there's another brand besides Gazelle, and I can't find that brand. And as a matter of fact, I believe Dee lost hers. Box fan D lost hers in a high wind this week. So that's what I was talking about. And these people can set up on their own, just a snap of their fingers very quickly. But anyways, this guy out of Canada, he did a review where he went in really bad weather. And he was able to stay warm. He was able, to cook food and blah, blah, blah. So, but
I've got it on YouTube.
Yeah,
Wow.
living out of it is correct terminology, is what we want to do, not live in it.
Gone Boondocking has one of those that you just showed.
Wow.
And when we were camping last year together, we spent a lot of time around his little portable fire pit in it at night. So it's
that's another thing. A portable fire pit. It is a clam. What I was thinking of is called a clam, Patty.
A clam. Yep, the clam.
Yep.
Wow.
It's just a different brand, but and they will stand up to a lot. But apparently, where Box Van D and Scott Appreciation, Scott Jacobson Appreciation, and Roy and Becky are all in this one area, and it got really windy, like with sustained 60-mile-an-hour winds.
Oh
And
wow.
hers got pretty much destroyed. Yeah. So it's
The-
Were
Go
there,
ahead.
again, the 15 awesome tents that raise the bar and camping and glamping.
yes.
And so it's 15-minute video. The first one I showed was the Rhino Wolf. So apparently there's a whole bunch of different brands of, something like that. So for somebody like me who just, if I'm going to be on my own and I want to do that, then, because, yeah.
You still got to stake them down. Kaylee's making a good point. She's not sure Diesel's staked down or not. You still, if you're going to be in really bad weather, you got to stake them down.
Yes.
Especially if it's going to be
Yeah,
sustained.
the clam is a little better built. Yeah, the clam is a little better built than most of them. So if you're going to spend the money, buy them because they got heavy duty poles, they got heavier duty materials, and you can buy them that have the flaps included to cover the outside. And the 5-sided one is the best one because it's the most stable and it'll sustain in the high winds, which we know from David's because it was in high winds last year in Craigie Wash.
Now, see, I could see
But
using that especially. Go ahead.
You have to use the guy wire. You have to guy them out to make sure that they stay in place in winds.
Right. I had thought it would be nice to just set up like a little family room, like some chairs and a table, and like David has a fire pit. I need to be able to carry a fire pit. That's another need. It's ridiculous. I know I'm foolish about it, but damn it, I want to have a fire pit. And by the way, there is a video from, I'll think of him in just a second. Mike and MJ's RV Adventures, I believe, or RV Life. Mike and MJ, and he did a propane fire pit because they don't let you have wood fire in Quartzsite area apparently, and even though it's all desert, and what are you going to burn up in a desert? But they don't allow fire. So he made, but you can have an open flame only if you can control it. And so he built a propane one, and even a ranger came and checked it out because it looked like a real fire.
Right, we did that. Yeah, we did that up at the out at the fire, the camp out, Alsea Falls a few years ago.
Oh wow!
Because there was no flames allowed, and they showed up. The authorities, whatever they are, showed up, and it was all propane, and they checked it out. They were like, "Wow, it was really nice."
Yeah. And Pete Rossi's saying you're working yourself out of a van. Just saying, yes, it's not realistic. It seems romantic and it seems fun and carefree. A van, it just emanates that feeling to me. However, I'm 59, Richard's 61. We have physical conditions that need to have ability to stand up like real human beings. I cannot bend over the rest of my life. So yeah, it would be nice.
Look for a road trek then. Road treks are vans. They're the wide body vans that have the high top so you can stand up in them.
Yep.
So they're like a Class B, but they have a wide body so you can have the queen size bed in the back. You can stand up. They have showers in them. My in-laws have one, and she's 69, he's 76, and they still camp in it all the time.
Having that ability to camp like that if you like it, I think it's important for people. I know. I miss it. I miss camping. Really enjoy being outdoors. Richard enjoys it. Maybe not as much as me because to date he's done most of the work. I'm just being honest. I'm not going to lie. I want to show you guys something I have not shared with anybody yet, but you guys will get to see. So I've got, these are the little cards. I got these little cards, note cards, and I've got some business cards and our stickers should be here any second, actually. And so I'm going to be, for people who want our stickers, I'm going to be putting them in this little cart with a handwritten note. And I thought that was going to be kind of fun to have because, you know, they're just fun. Richard was in the hospital. I was laying in bed and I just bought a bunch of stuff. I was, you know, dealing with my fear. Well, guys, it's 12 o'clock here. I know it's 3 o'clock somewhere. Kaylee, anybody who's in New York, back east, it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
It's actually
And
it's
so
actually 2 a.m. Actually,
2 a.m. Okay. I
Yeah,
thought you guys were
yeah,
3 hours. Oh, my clock
yeah,
went back on my computer automatically.
yeah.
That's
It's
cool.
only 2 a.m. there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and then tomorrow, let's see, Justin and Christina, you just a high top van like a Dodge ProMaster or Ford Transit or Mercedes Sprinter is like a road trip, which is what we have. Yes, I love them, and you know I see they look like they're so fun, and you can get them in a lot of places. I just cannot find one of the ProMaster is probably a ProMaster or a Transit. One of those
Yeah,
two. I think
stay away from the sprinters. They're highly expensive to maintain and repair, and
that's what I hear.
there's only 3 shops in the country that can work on them.
What
Oh, wow.
do
There's
they tell?
only 3 repair. No, they don't tell you that till after you buy it. I know 2 people that bought them, and after they thought they could just go to the Mercedes dealer, and the Mercedes dealer says, "Oh, we don't work on those. You have to go to one of our 3 shops." Which one in the East Coast and one kind of Central and one West Coast, and that's it. So, and if you're anywhere in between, you have to have it towed, and it's very expensive. So, another one to check out that if you're looking at a van, which is a really good idea, is the Nissan NV 3500. It's a high top van. The front end is
Mhm.
more like a truck, so it's easy to
Oh,
work on the engine if you need to, or check the fluids. And they even come from the factory with 4-wheel drive, so you can get them with 4-wheel drive.
oh, wow, that's cool. See, there was one for
Yeah.
sale.
So
It was just an extended E350 extended, and but it was lifted and it was 4-wheel drive. It had like an 8-inch lift kit on it. 8 inches. I would have had to have a set of stairs to get it up, but you know, we could have went places.
and there is a company called Fiberine in California that installs high tops on the E series vans, on the Econoline vans, so you can have a high top
Okay.
put in as well.
I know
So there are
Bob
options.
Bob from uh create
Bob's Bob's
go
Cheap
ahead.
RV living.
Cheap RV Living.
Oh,
He did a show, a video about when he had one put on a van that he had, and
Yep.
it was you know, someone that he thought had a good reputation, and those things when you get a leak, life is not good, and it was not done well. So he had to,
Right.
you
Well,
know, go ahead.
Fiberine is Fiberine's the one that does it for Ford and Dodge when they used the old Dodge vans. Fiberine is the
Uh-huh.
company that Ford would send their vans to have the high
Oh,
tops installed. So they are a legitimate. He went to a secondhand guy. Actually, the guy that had that company used to work for Fiberine and was fired, and because he was undercutting them and doing jobs on the side. So he was fired and
oh,
started his own business and didn't know what he was doing. So that's why Bob had the trouble he had, is because the guy wasn't qualified to do them the way that
okay.
Fiberine does them. But Fiberine is a factory authorized installer for the high tops.
You know, there's obviously people who do great work and they're authorized to do stuff. We just have to be careful when someone like me
Right.
wants to have a particular thing, I need to make sure that the right person has either done the job and it's done right, or that I'm going to know, so listening to people like you and Bob and other people who've done this ahead of me. So, all right, guys. Well, I think I'm going to close down because we are supposed to go look at a vehicle tomorrow, and I'm wanting to get there in the earlier part of the day. Otherwise, I will not be able to do my live tomorrow. I'm thinking I probably won't. If I have to go to this other town, I probably won't do a live tomorrow. So I may or may not be back to do one. But thank you all for coming and spending a little bit of your Halloween with me.
Happy
Thanks for
Halloween,
allowing me
everybody.
to come on.
One thing, my live stream is tomorrow night at 6 o'clock Mountain Time. So
Mountain time?
yeah, 6 o'clock Mountain Time.
Okay.
And
Okay.
and it's the Pacific Coast Trail you were thinking of.
Oh, yeah, Pacific Coast Trail. Yeah, Carolyn hiked that, and
Yeah.
it was rigorous.
Yeah.
Rigorous deal for, even her as healthy and fit as she was, boy, there was a point where I thought she would probably quit, but she went another like 300 miles. Hiked, I mean,
Yeah.
hundreds and hundreds of miles. It's not a day, it's a while. You don't, yeah. I love, there was a time when we could have done something like that. All I could say is, because I didn't know. No one told me about this lifestyle when I was healthy. It's like, God, why didn't you let me know this 25 years ago? We would have been gone. We would have been out on the road.
Right.
No question in my mind.
There's a guy named Matt Graham who did the Pacific Coast Trail from the Mexico-California border to the Washington Canadian border in 57 days.
57?
57 days from
Holy
Mexico to
smokes.
Canada, the PCT in 57 days.
Wow. That's a real hiker right there. Now, just quickly,
his daily run is a 50-mile daily run. That's what he runs on an average day, 50 miles.
of course. Wow. And he probably does it in sand.
Oh my God.
Hey, he actually does it in most of it in the Grand Escalante Staircase National Monument where he lives. So,
Wow. Lucky. I mean, that's a very, that's a blessed person. Very blessed. When we were young, when I was in track and field, when I was a kid, now even when I was at an average healthy weight, I could never run fast. I couldn't run. I was just not a runner. Well, when we would go over and to a place called North Bend, Oregon, where it's on the coast of Oregon, all of those kids did all of their running in sand dunes, in sand. And they were so much faster against our fastest because our kids, ran on regular tracks, but they practiced in the sand and they were just stronger, was a stronger run.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm going to hang up the phone for now, guys, but
Good luck tomorrow, sweetie. I hope you
Good
find
night,
a good one.
everyone.
It was good talking to all of you. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween to you too. Thanks for allowing me to come on, Lucretia.
thank you for coming on, Kenneth. I appreciate you so much, honey. And good luck with your schooling coming up here in the next term. And I'm really grateful for you.
Thank you.
All right, Kenneth. Bye-bye. And oops, I see Backroads is still there. I was going to say goodbye to you, Backroads, but I guess I'll say bye to you down there. Add to stream.
I didn't I didn't go anywhere.
I'm like, woo! My hand was just going crazy over here on getting rid of people. But I love live streams, and I love it when you guys come on and I get to talk to you in person, and I can't wait to meet you in person someday, both of you. I'm hoping anyways.
Yeah, it'll be nice.
Yep, you're in South Dakota, right? Bamarush?
No, oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if he can hear you.
I don't know. It doesn't show he's muted.
There was a lot of feedback from my direction. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's all right. All right. So I just want to tell you good night, Bamarush. Thank you for coming on and spending some time with us. It was
Yes,
fun.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. You have a good evening, Anthony.
All right. We'll see you, Lucretia.
See you soon. All right. So here we are, and you're at the top of Donner Pass, and I'm down here in Eugene, Oregon. I'm just glad it's not too cold there.
Getting ready to head to good old Sacramento, which I'm not looking forward to.
Yeah. Well, you have a bit of a drive home still.
Well, actually, I'm heading to Fresno because that's where I got to pick my wife up, and then we got to go
Uh-huh.
to Campbell to pick up snowmobiles, and then we're heading back. So we're trying to get out of here before Election Day.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I'm trying to pretend like it's not coming, but I think I believe hell's coming either way it goes. You know, I
Yeah,
did
it
my
is,
part.
unfortunately.
Yep,
Yeah.
I did my part, and um I'm just praying, and I mean really praying that somehow that, you know, people recognize that burning our country up is not the answer. It's just not.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's too many that don't understand that. So, but I just want to be out of this state before Election Day because.
I don't blame you. I don't blame
Yeah.
you. And I live in one of the most, I live in an extremely liberal area. And,
Yeah.
but I am finding on my street alone, there was, I believe, 3 houses with, conservative people's signage. And so I was surprised. I was like, OMG. And my son, he went and picked up a Biden sign, and he was going to pick up an opposite one for me. And he was actually mentioning that at the Democrat headquarters. He was going to the Republican headquarters to pick up a sign for his mother. And they, you know what, their words to him were, why give him the choice?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he was going to put our signs together because my son knows that, and he said it's the Democratic way to run. You know, that's how it's ran. We get a choice. Everybody gets a choice.
Right. Right.
And
yeah.
so
I just got this to put on the truck, but I'm going to wait till I'm out of California to do it.
yeah, I think you're right to do so. Right?
yeah. I'm definitely going to.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, hon. Thank you for coming up and chatting with us and giving us some of your experience and your knowledge.
Not a problem. Anytime. Glad to help out.
All right. Talk to you another time. Bye-bye.
All
See
right.
you tomorrow
Good luck
night.
on your good luck on your RV.
All right. All right. Bye-bye. All right, guys. Well, thank you. Whoever is left, we've got 8 in the house, and it is 12:14 on November 1st. So welcome to November. I may or may not be here later on today for my live stream at 5 o'clock, right after Box Fan D. I'm just not sure. Depends on where we're at. So have a good rest of your day. If I don't see you today, I'll see you tomorrow, Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Thank you for showing up and staying and hanging out. All right, guys. Bye-bye. Love you all. Stay healthy and stay well. Safe.